house. Drill slip off
Okay,
the screw.
we're unmuted. Good morning, Perry. Good morning, Zoe.
Split it in half. I was like, oh. You know, you get that feeling where it's like, I need to go inside.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Somebody who's used to once.
But it's you. We were talking about how whenever you hurt yourself so bad you get nauseous.
Yeah.
I've done that. I hit myself with a hammer on the thumb.
Yeah.
And I was on top of the ladder one time. And I was like, I gotta get down. Oh, please. You know?
Hi, Stephanie.
Hello.
Hello. Good. I didn't mean to be weird. Oh, you're so
Been there. Almost was there today.
You're problem now.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good. I've been waiting to say that.
Okay, please.
I think I'm gonna let you take over. It's
Well,
your
no, I just
idea.
explained it to you, so I want to make sure that I got my.
He wants you to.
The
Hi.
whole room set up.
Image console.
I need one.
I don't think you need
I don't
one.
think you need one. We're not doing mastery level.
I was gonna say, I don't think we have to
Alright.
like qualify. But maybe for someone, an example of somebody marketing cargo shorts and
Oh, like branding?
yeah,
No,
like personal brand.
one time we had an agent, you know, that was walking towards the appointment in cargo shorts on t-shirt. You get it.
Oh, and I get it. Like, like, is it Lance?
I didn't think about it, but yes, I just thought, yes, it is.
Lance and Bernie.
Oh, good night.
Get him in office.
If we could get him like refreshing, then yes, we can.
He can have the office under the stairs.
I don't know if that would be.
So Stephanie, you have a very new experience with homeownership. Did you sell your house recently?
It's been.
When did you buy a house
almost
recently?
a year.
Oh. Oh gosh, why did it was like 2 months ago? Oh, did you say
It'll be, next month it'll be a year we sold and bought.
Gosh, oh my goodness. I thought it was very recent.
This is a sort of like.
No, I don't want to do it again.
I know.
Of course, you're talking
It's called
Just south of 480, mile and a half.
We were gonna be neighbors.
On Preston.
That sounds like it would be too much fun.
Which
A bag of cats.
You were still
Is that on the east or west side?
It's on the west side.
Not
Probably about 4 or 5
It's
miles.
what happens
So where that 7-Eleven is right there, or there's a gas station on the corner, cut through the road.
As they do.
It's got some very-
Would you like me to introduce you right at 9 o'clock? Would you like me to?
Oh, geez, right there, okay.
Yeah.
I got a house that's up in
What's the time?
Italy,
9:03.
and we tried to be halfway to $20. Not a lot halfway, but I haven't found that towards, like, I guess it's on golf now, and that's where I find
It
it.
should be.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no,
Check
it's
that
a
out.
nice little trailer. I like it. It's weird. It's got 6 parking, 6 parking doors, 6 parking.
That is it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like playing par five. I'll check it out.
It's the one thing that matters.
Maybe-
It was a really good week. I was away for 4 nights, as opposed to 3.
He's on sabbatical.
It's risk.
Paul Hill says my teacher. Amish. He was Amish growing up. He said he I don't know. I'm new, Paul, I get to watch TV. You're fine now.
It's,
That was so long
It just depends on what time you get.
He went back.
Summer, that's when
I got
when you're 17.
Oh, no, he was very little. He said he made such a progress on his mom's belly that they, as soon as he jumped out, they kicked him out of the community.
Between the 1 o'clock hour. Because.
He's so cute. All right. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's my hand. That was my Jay. Basically this. Let's be on fire.
Beach waves.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe, but it's more of the color. Because these did.
Orange, that has orange.
They heard about the plan this morning.
Plan.
3 categories. Take order. So excited about that.
You don't have to make.
Yes, me too. You know what to do, right?
Well, like right now, it's.
I'm gonna make it. Okay. Then we can- I put some more.
Western.
I'll, hey guys, let me ask you, I didn't ask you. He should be out of my which is great.
Well, I do that.
11, oh yeah, 11. I know, so good. All right, we're on.
We might. So, I was Zoe.
You just like so much like numbers.
Are you a podium speaker?
Yeah, sometimes. I walk around a lot of speakers. We need a KW for that.
I know. I think Diana ordered one.
No, they.
Diana ordered some.
I'm in the final stages.
Where's
We're
our-
on top of that, Rose.
I'm in the final stages.
Oh.
Woo! It's 9:03. I can't whistle, so I say woo! It's the only acceptable time to do it. Okay. So, y'all, this is a treat. So grab breakfast, finish up your conversations. I have two very special treats for you guys. 2 very special treats for you guys. Man, am I glad to see you. He's a rock star too. He's amazing. Senior level. I will not. Sorry, squirrel brain. If I mute this, will I kill everything?
Yes, I am gonna do that.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you so much. Hi everybody. I'm Betsy Newquist. I'm CEO and team leader of Pillow Room Girls and Denton. I'm so glad to see you this morning. That I can't not say that if I'm standing behind a podium. All right. So 2 very special treats. Number 1, this is an ignition or reignition of your businesses, and I'm truly grateful for this 5 seconds I get to have. I firmly believe it actually gets to be one of the most important conversations that y'all, and I ever get to have. So thank you for that. I also, that's not the surprise, by the way. One of them was Robert in breakfast, and he'll be back. He'll be back in to talk to us. But Robert is a resource for us, and he's been with Fairway for a few years, a while now. He is one of the most experienced, most genuine, most wonderful customer service people that I know in lending, and I am married to a lender. So, and I love him too. But, so Robert's here, he's gonna chat with us. He wants to be a resource for you guys. He wants to be a resource. He has answered so many questions for me on deals that he didn't have. I know he'd be mad if I told you that, but he is a resource. Again, I am married to a lender, and I still have questions. All right. So y'all, do you know Thomas? Thomas Eves, my friend and colleague. Well, okay, so I've known you for 3 years now.
Have you?
Yeah, just about.
Okay, great.
Well, you ignored my phone calls for the first 6
That's
months.
true. I remember that.
Yes.
Yes,
I
Jesse
remember-
Newquist's
Yes.
wife. Yeah.
I ran a contract to close company and realtors were my customers for years, and Thomas had my card, kept my
I
card.
did still have it.
Yep, kept my card,
Still
but
have
did not take my phone call.
That's true.
Robert, you missed all of the nice things we said about you, so I'm gonna pause on you, Thomas, and come back and not repeat those things, because I don't want to inflate your ego. But will you introduce yourself as the awesome resource and wonderful person that you always are?
Robert Tokarczyk, Fairway Mortgage. We're 2 doors down. I've had a kind of little MSA with Keller Williams since 2006, February 2006 when I came up here. I used to have an office over in the annex one here that kind of moved around, but things have changed. And health issues and gave up my office for somebody, and then kind of the pandemic, and it's been crazy. So I've been working on the house quite a bit. I've been doing this for 29 years. Anything you can have questions on, need help with anything, please let me know. Turning deals really quick. We underwrite everything in-house. We close everything. Our closers in the office over there, so we're fun within usually 15 minutes after closing. Got the down payment grants that we've been doing a ton of, because when people having to go over the list price or having limited money, it's like, okay, let's get money for the down payment, because we know we're gonna have to pay closing costs. We're not gonna get any seller concessions in this market.
Yeah.
So we're doing quite a bit of those. And we turn those just, we fund the money, so we don't have to go through another bank like a lot of lenders. We service our own loans. We're actually the 3rd largest lender in the nation right now. So we'll front the money for the down payment grant and then wait for it a month T-Shack and let our wires sit out there and gain interest, which a lot of lenders won't do.
That's good.
So that's why we can have everything underwritten. We underwrite for them. All we got to do is upload the documents. They send them out, we send the wire, and then we'll get the money back later.
Lenders speak, well, lender wife to lender. They do what it takes to get it done, and they understand business. And so that's part of that is the reason why they're a huge, giant, successful company. But they have guys that put together great packages like Robert, who will always tell you the truth, who will always help you. Use them as a resource, use them.
Yeah, and we're 24 hours in underwriting, sometimes 48, but if we need 24, we can get it done in 24 hours.
Mhm.
And then on conventional loans, Natalie can underwrite if we need it, and she can clear conditions if we need it. So if we have a condition that pops up last minute, she can go in there and just clear it off and boom, send docs out.
That's good.
She can send CDs as well, if Brenda's busy. We get those out, and then we get the approval. So we have a CD signed while we're working conditions and get everything done.
You guys will see Robert again as you go through this course too. You'll see him again whenever you want. He's literally super right now.
He's
Thank
even
you.
my personal lender.
Oh, good.
He did my loan, he did my parents' loan, he did my grandparents' loan. If I can never get a freaking house in the contract, he'll do another one.
We're gonna learn all about
One
that.
of these days.
Thank you for being here,
Yeah,
Robert.
thank you for everything.
breakfast.
Please let me know if I can help do anything at all. I'll put some of my cards back here, so
Mhm.
I'll let y'all get going with your meeting.
We'll call him often.
Leslie.
Come on, then. So here's the surprise, Robert.
Thank you.
You'll want to stay for this too.
Oh, yes.
So we owe, actually, as of last month, we owe Thomas Eves, founder and CEO of the Eves Realty Group at Keller Williams Realty. We owe him a giant congratulations. He's our newest mega agent. Congratulations.
That's
What does it mean? So, a couple different ways, but mainly 10 million in production. And Thomas has done it with people, mainly by himself. And what would you say is the main switch that you were able to point to over the last 12 months of becoming a mega agent?
investments in people.
Okay, tell me more.
Leverage, A, and coaching, B. Well, really, there's no particular order to that, but leverage and coaching. And by the way, that's a great commercial for the class we're teaching on July 27th, 9th, whatever it is. 7th, how to grow your business by 240% in 12 months. That's literally the key to that class.
Yeah,
So.
that is literally what you did. So congratulations. Thomas isn't getting paid for this either. Neither are any of the leaders of this market center that are here 3 hours out of their time to teach y'all. That is the culture and the heart of this market center. And soak it up, do absolutely every single thing that he says, and you'll be even better. That's pretty much it. Do you mind if I stay for lead generation time?
Please.
Okay, great. I'm gonna lead gen with y'all. So Thomas, thank you.
Wow. So here's, first of all, thank you so much for that warm introduction. What's great about whenever they put me at the front of this room is they have no idea what I'm going to say. And here's the fun part. Neither do I. I have been teaching Ignite for, I think, 5 years now, but I've never taught this one. And so I've read through what I'm supposed to say here, and man, it's really good. I'm definitely going to say all of these things. So I'm going to do my best to follow along in the book, and we're going to go to like 100 different places. So is it okay? Do I have your permission to do like super ignite? Like we can't do regular ignite.
Yes.
We can do super ignite. Okay. Super ignite's going to involve a lot more probably funny stories, but hopefully some value as well. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to get your head in the game, which is on page 7 of your student. So a lot of this is going to
We'll take care of it.
Yep. So someone is that's hilarious. It's the funniest thing. So I'm going to read some questions that are hypothetical, but they're not, and we're going to talk through them. This first one seems kind of stupid. So before I ask the question, I'm going to ask you a different question, which is how many people in this room? Well, let's just figure out who's the newest agent in this room. Who's the newest newbie?
Possibly me.
Okay.
I've been on about a month,
A month.
month and a half,
How long have you been on?
probably like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Month.
A month.
I've been a realtor for about a year, so.
For a year. Oh wow. You come teach it.
Oh,
A year. You know all the stuff.
This is why we need you.
Can I tell you how long I was in before like it all clicked for me? Will it scare you if I tell you?
No, tell me.
It was like 3.5 years. Now, my goal for you and the reason that I'm so passionate about standing at the front of this room so often is for that to happen in like a lot shorter amount of time for you, like maybe a month, maybe 6 months at the longest. Like if you're just kind of a slow burn type of person, don't take 3.5 years. That was the wrong thing to do. That was due to me being remarkably unobservant and a little bit stubborn. So I'm going to say some things. Actually, we should just preface this now. You're going to hear a whole lot of stuff at Keller Williams that you're going to think, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And it's not. I should just let you guys know, you're at the #1 real estate company on the face of planet Earth by volume, units, and agent count. You're also at the #1 training company on the face of the planet across all industries, not just real estate. So if ever you think, man, my broker is the problem, should we write on the board? No, we won't do that in day one. You're probably an idiot. I just let you know. If ever you think, man, the reason I'm not killing it in my business is because of my broker, you're probably kind of an idiot. So it doesn't say that in the book, Jesse, but I did want to just get that right on out of the way. Okay, so now that I have an idea of how long everybody's been in the industry, by the way, I've been in for 8 years. I think we're creeping up on 8 real quick. I always know when my license comes up for renewal that I've hit another 2 years, so it's getting there. So now that I know that, I'm going to ask the stupidest question that they could start Ignite off with, and here it goes. Have you achieved your financial goals through your career so far? You killing it? You're doing it? You're making your financial goals? Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure why it starts out with that. And yet, one of the things that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the book is what your financial goals are. And most of the time when people tell me their financial goals, I tell them that's not good enough. And so we're going to, like I said, we're doing super ignite. We're not going to do the boring stuff. Okay, next question. This one's going to get me into trouble, and I'm going to ask it anyway. So what is the one thing that makes one real estate agent more successful than others? Do you guys have any ideas about that?
How we treat people, how we respect one another, and how we allow ourselves to speak to others.
Where are you reading that from?
Your brain.
Oh,
I'm reading it from your brain.
so good. Anybody else?
Hustle.
Hustle. Which, by the way, is another way of saying lead generation, right? Here's something that I have said for years, and I'm just going to say, I should just go ahead and get permission, right? I'm going to get permission. Do I have y'all's permission to speak candidly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I only have Jesse's permission. Do I have everyone else's permission to speak candidly? Okay, cool. One of the things that I observed upon getting into real estate is that there were a lot of like extremely intelligent people in this business. I mean, like some of the smartest people I've ever met in my entire life. making like $0 in real estate. And then conversely, there were some of the like the biggest idiots I've ever met in my entire life who are killing it, rolling in it. And I'm going, how is this happening? Like, what's going on? And the thing is, success in real estate is simple, but it's not easy. And what that means is that, like, to get the business, it's not really that complicated. It's just that there's a group that's willing to do it, and there's a group that's like not. And sometimes people are so smart that they've convinced themselves they don't have to do it. And there are people that are giant idiots, but you tell them, hey, go do this, and they go do it, and they get the results. And so it just, what it does is it proves our concept. Like, if you just do the stuff, you'll probably get the results. And if you don't, we know how to get you there, right? So that's the point. The point is lead generation, right? Those who lead generate, kill it, and those who don't. My favorite topic is lead generation. I love it because there is sort of there's a pretty widely accepted way of doing things in real estate, and it does work. It absolutely works. And I love to challenge like anything. I believe nothing that you tell me, and only half of what I see. And so we're going to get into some lead generation topics that are going to get really, really controversial, and that's my favorite part of it. Okay. So I've already sort of answered that question. I'm not going to ask you how you feel about that because I'm a high D personality, and if you tell me how you feel, I'm going to get upset. Do we all know our DISC? Do we DISC people anymore?
You want to?
I would love to DISC people.
Sure.
Does anybody here know what a DISC assessment is? You have no idea what I'm talking about? You do? What are you on the DISC?
A.
A?
We
Perfect.
talked about that. Different language, same test.
Yeah,
D.
the D. Okay, yeah, well that yeah, that makes sense. We Ds, we're direct, decisive, driven. There are other D words that can describe us, but if you ask me how I feel, I'm going to be really, really negative about that. Okay, we're on to page 8. So the point is, we are in the business of lead generation, and we're in the business of real estate. So how many of you have ever seen, have you ever turned on a channel called HGTV? Any of you? Anybody ever watched HGTV? So go ahead and flush all of that out of your mind. Those of you that have been in for like 2 weeks to a month, it's like nothing like that. There's no HGTV here. There's no, what is happening? Is that outside? Or
Yeah, it's outside.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good thing.
There are cars.
Highway here. So, yeah, so it's nothing like that. We're not going to get buyers that just walk into the office and you go, I'm going to show you 3 homes, one that's slightly outside of your price range and one that has nothing to do with what you were looking for. And for your budget of $7, we're going to find you the home of your dreams. Like, that's just not it. It's not going to happen. So, Gary, do you guys know who Gary is? Gary, he's my father, Gary Eves. No. That is my father, by the way, my second favorite Gary. So Gary Keller is the founder of Keller Williams Realty, and he did some really cool research for us. And so he went out and researched all the top real estate professionals, and he discovered that they all had some things in common. On page 9, he noticed that mindset, attitudes, and approach to life were the 3 things that these agents had in common. And we're going to get really, really deep into the mindset stuff, and that's the stuff that you're going to roll your eyes at, and that's the stuff that I rolled my eyes at. And just so you know in advance, so we make it as comfortable for you as possible, you're wrong. So I'll just let you know that you're wrong now. It's the #1 real estate company on the planet. Let's just remove that. We're already on page 10. So we're going to talk about self-mastery for a second. I'm going to give you guys a bold law. Well, actually, where's the bold law that I'm about to give you? Hold on. Let's find it. Okay, the one that I'm looking for says, gotta find it.
What's it say?
Gotta find it.
What's it say?
Gotta find it. Hold on. Oh, no, there it is. It's right behind Brittany. It says, your business grows to the extent that you do. That's literally what this is referring to. And this is one of those things that I rolled my eyes at for about 3 years until I took bold for the first time. What that means, is that if you're finding yourself hitting a ceiling of achievement in real estate, it's probably because you suck. No, well, here, let me say that in a nicer way. Your business is only going to grow to the point that you grow to, right? And so, like, if you are really not nailing the self-mastery bit, you're probably not going to nail the business bit. And so I really struggled with this up until I took Bold, and it opened my eyes to a whole bunch of things. If you're only focused on the business and you're not interested in improving yourself, your business is going to hit a lot of plateaus. I hit a plateau really early on in real estate. I'll just tell you a quick personal anecdote, because I know y'all were itching for one of those. You were like, gosh, I just want to know more about you. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate that. Whenever I got into real estate, I mean this in the humblest of ways, I was pretty instantly successful by an outsider's perspective. I instantly started closing deals. I was going after for sale by owners. I didn't have a database. I didn't know anybody. I thought the low-hanging fruit was probably people who wanted to sell their houses, and so I started going after FSBOs. I started using a website that none of you have probably heard of. It's called Zillow. They're becoming less and less relevant every day, so you guys don't know about them. But there's this website, it's blue, it doesn't matter. The point is Zillow. I was going on that website every day, and I was contacting as many for sale by owners as possible. I wasn't calling them, by the way. I was contacting them as if I was interested in their house. Ethical, who's to say? It's what I did. And I would probably contact, I don't know, like 200 a day, something like that. I was obsessed. I mean, 13 or 14 hours of copy and paste and type, and it was a lot. It was a lot. So I did that, and believe it or not, even the newest, stupidest, youngest agent, if they contact 200 FSBOs a day, accidentally gets 1 or 2 or 3 or 5. So, and I did, and I was doing really, really well. And then I hit my ceiling of achievement, and I didn't close anything for 6 months. So what happened there was that I had to do some self-mastery stuff to catch up to where I wanted to go in my business. That stuff, I had to start time blocking. I had to start learning what a unique value proposition was, which, by the way, is my favorite part of Ignite. I can't wait till we get to unique value propositions. So there's some nuggets in there. So self-mastery is something you should be committed to. I'm going to actually give some recommended readings throughout here. I'm an Audible person. If you like to read books, that's weird. But I like to audiobook them. I go to the University of Chevy Equinox, meaning whenever I drive down the road, like I'm always listening to something. On the way in here today, I listened to something by Brene Brown. Don't ask me what it is. I don't know, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I also listened to Scorpio today.
Oh.
It's fascinating. It's only 3 minutes. Listen to it every day. Whether you're, yeah, it's really fascinating. But yeah, if I don't have anything interesting to fill my mind with, then I'll fill my mind with that astrological garbage. It's super fun. So step 2 is commit to the 80-20 principle. Have we all heard of the 80-20 principle? You familiar with it? Everyone knows? Okay, one person in the back knows. The 80-20 principle is that 20% of your actions contribute to 80% of your results. So that's a fancy way of saying, by the way, I understood this concept. Remember how long I've been in business? 8 years?
8 years.
Like agent? Okay, let me tell you when I figured this out. Like 6 months ago. Like 6 months ago. I had read it probably 150 times, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But there's the difference between understanding something intellectually and understanding something like emotionally, and like I finally get it now. And so what that means is that like your 20%. I'll just tell you what my 20% is. It's going to be like this is going to be a sexy answer. You guys are going to love it. It's lead generation. I know. Gosh, fan yourself. Lead generation is my 20%. And so I finally figured out, I was like, okay, how can I get to the point where I'm so efficient in my 20% and someone else is taking care of the other 80% of my effort? Like how can I do that so that I'm like super profitable and super efficient? And I figured out how to do it, by the way. It took me 8 years to do it. I would love for it to take you a lot less time. But it took me a really long time to figure this out. So now my 20%, my lead generation time, which by the way is about 2 hours a day. Don't follow that long, but it's about 2 hours a day. Is like, it's very efficient. Okay, so if you can figure out how to make your 20% time like really purposeful and really efficient, it's gonna be awesome. Okay, so we'll help you get there. Step 3 is to move from E to P. Yeah, another area where I struggle. So E stands for entrepreneurial, P stands for purposeful. Raise your hand if you're an entrepreneur. Everyone except for Kathy. Makes sense.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah. No, so by the way, Rotarian of the Year, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank
Congrats.
you. So it's like, and I gotta close in the 20, they don't have docs. So.
Well, we love that. Oh, look, we got a visitor.
He's back. And with a haircut.
Oh.
Good, hi. Thanks for their support.
Sorry.
Alright, sorry.
Another personal narrative. I have 8 of them. And growing constantly. Okay, E to P. I'm going to give you an example of something that I did that was entrepreneurial. I started my real estate team about 5 years ago, and I was like, I'm going to really kill it at lead generation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to text message like every for sale by owner in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I'm going to put them all on a 36-step drip campaign that like can't lose, right? I'm going to offer them so much value that, and I know what you're thinking, you're like, wow, this sounds pretty good. Rebecca's never gotten so many complaints. I don't think Rebecca's ever gotten so many complaints in her life, because there's this website. I know I only pronounce it Zillow. Zillow. You guys ever heard Zillow?
Yes.
Yeah, Zillow. This website. What would happen is that people would put their houses on Zillow, and for sale by owner, and then a real estate agent would go and take that listing, because that's what happens to 94% of FSBOs, and then they would go put it on the MLS, meaning they were then represented, but it would stay on Zillow as a for sale by owner. And so I was importing the numbers of a bunch of other people's clients and then text messaging them and saying, hey, I can sell your house.
Most likely to cause an international incident?
Yeah, real estate agents were like really uncool with that for some reason. They're just like, why are you texting my client? And I was just like, your client's house is for sale by owner, idiot. And they were like, no, it's not, moron. And I was like, oh. So anyway, entrepreneurial. Whenever you become purposeful, you avoid these missteps. So really the point of moving from entrepreneurial to purposeful is moving from creativity to models. We have, oh look, they're on that thing over there. Oh my God, it's like E to P and the 4 models. God, that's genius. Okay, so it's right there. Go and read those after the class. So the 4 models we always remember by ELBO, ELBO, the economic model, the lead generation model, the budget model, and the operating model. So if ever you're thinking, God, how do I do this, and this, and I just don't know how to do it? Instead of getting creative, like an entrepreneur would do, why don't you leverage the resources of the #1 real estate company on the face of the planet that you're already a part of? So we love as entrepreneurs to like, we hear a problem, and we're just like, God, I can't wait to solve this. It's like, please stop. Don't solve anything. Don't solve anything. Just go read the red book. Go read the red book. Just go to kwconnect.com. Just go ask Blaine, ask me, ask Jess, ask someone. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yes.
Does everyone have a red book? Yes? Oh, yeah. No, I don't. Gotcha.
We're not talking about like where the red fern grows, by the way. We're talking about, I see one right there. Talking about the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's the real estate Bible. And it's an exhausting freaking book, by the way. I've read it 4 times. I still have no idea what it says. No, it's a resource. It's not like a casual evening read. So if you're like laying in the bathtub and you don't want to like drown, like don't read it, because it's not good. It's sort of like reading the dictionary. You would never be like, aardvark. Like you would never do that, right? So it's a resource. It's meant for looking up valuable data, and I suggest you use it for that. I have read it many times. I don't know what it says. It's a really good book. I have no idea what it says. All right, step 4, make being learning-based the foundation of your action plan. I wish we had the DISC assessment on this class. I really do, because I want to know who my high C's are. Just to give you an idea of what high C's are, Jesse is a high C personality. C's are cautious, calculated, compliant. They are engineers, basically. Is that you?
That's me.
Okay. Can I give you some advice?
Yes.
Can we have a coaching moment?
Yes.
Okay. You're never going to know it all.
Oh, of course.
And the moment you learn it all, it'll change.
Yeah.
That's real estate. That's real estate. And so what I find with my, and by the way, there is a very successful high C in this office. I love him. His name is Shane Newton. I love him. I love him. He's a great guy. And Shane, when he got into the business, was like determined to know everything before he did anything. You're just gonna have to go and screw some stuff up first. Like Facebook, whenever they first started, their slogan was move fast and break things. I think that's a great slogan. Move fast and break things. That's what you should do. You should just do that. You've got the support of, again, I'm going to keep repeating this. You're the #1 real estate company on the, not only are you the #1 real estate company on the face of the planet, but you're at the #1 real estate company in Denton since like 1984. So you're good. We got you. So move fast and break some stuff, and then just let us help you dig your way out of it. It's okay. Just go do that. I was explaining how high C's are going to want to learn everything before they do things. So just do it. Just do it. Can you give any specific advice on that, Jesse?
I'd love to chime in on that.
I would love for you to.
There is no magic pill. I've read probably 185 books to teach me how to not be a lead generator. It doesn't work. You have to generate leads. Here's the good news. Once you do it one time, your brain, this little piece right back here to the back right, your brain goes, I didn't die. And then once you do it a second time, this little piece right next to your brain goes, I didn't die. And then it happens again and again. And if you're good, when you get good, it actually becomes addictive. It actually creates a pathway of ID to lead generate in your brain, and then you're a mega agent.
That's one of those things that I would have rolled my eyes at, and it's totally true. It's totally true. And what I learned upon that journey is you don't have to convince yourself to make 100 phone calls. You just have to convince yourself to make one, and the rest of them just happen.
Great one.
As soon as you don't die after the first one, you're just like, that wasn't so bad. I went to a place called Go Wake this past weekend, and that is a place where you zip line and swing from trees and stuff in Plano at Oak Point Park. Super fun. Highly recommend it, unless you're with a huge group, and then it's really miserable. There was this girl who was behind me who was hysterical, both in a funny way and also in a miserable crying sort of way. And she, like, there was this one part of the course where it's optional, and she chose the fun option, which is where you can literally like jump off of a platform and swing like 60 feet into a net, and like it feels like you're gonna die. It's great. And she like she was crying. She was already crying on the platform. She would not do it. She finally forced herself to do it. And like the feeling afterwards was euphoric. And that's a really stupid but perfect example about real estate lead generation, is that you're like crying on the platform. You're like, I don't want to be good. And then you do it one time, you're like, it was great. Can't wait to do it again. So yeah, I know. It's
so true though.
Being human is weird.
It's so
Being
weird.
human is weird. Having a brain is weird. Having a conscience is weird. Okay, we're on page 12. All right, we're going to talk about removing your limiting beliefs. I'm going to tell you a great story. I'll tell you a great story about limiting beliefs. If anyone tries to give you limiting beliefs here in the rest of your life, my suggestion is that you push that person off a cliff. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 personal narratives. One of them has to do with me, and one of them doesn't have to do with me. We'll start with the one that doesn't have to do with me. I have a cousin. That's the end. No, I have a cousin who went to college, to become a pharmacist. I don't know if you guys know this, but that's like the #2 career in America for committing suicide. That's like a true statistic. Yeah, because it's miserable. People become a pharmacist. Anybody here a pharmacist? People become a pharmacist, thank God, people become a pharmacist because it is a way to not have to do a whole lot of medical training, but you learn Latin, you do all this stuff, and you make a crud ton of money. Also, the hours are tedious and you are literally counting pills. So could you imagine wanting to jump off of a bridge? This is what pharmacists do. About 3 years into my cousin's pharmacist career, he's in Houston, by the way, which is a city, you guys probably haven't heard of that. It's a city, it's like that way. It's very humid. There's a lot of people. Anyway, fish. The point is, so he's in Houston, and he called me one day, and he was like, "Hey, I've noticed that you're in real estate. I think I would like to do that." This is a guy who's making $250 grand a year, counting pills, and he calls me, who was making at the time $60,000 a year, to be miserable in real estate. And he's like, I think I want to do that. And I was like, okay. So I gave him the best advice I could, which is, here's what you need to do. You need to go and join your nearest Keller Williams office. You take Ignite. You start calling for sell by owners. Say this, do this. And he said, okay. 3 months later, he had $5 million in contract. A year later, he was a mega agent. Today, he is a $50 million producer out of a market where the average sales price is $176,500. Now you might ask, how the hell did he do that trajectory? I will tell you, he had 0 limiting beliefs. He looked at me, said, I want to do that. How did you do it? I said, do A, B, C, and D. He went, okay. He went and did. He mindlessly, thoughtlessly, my cousin's a smart guy, but he didn't think about any of the adversity because I didn't tell him about any of it. He just went and did it and went, yeah, here's the results I got. This is normal. And I was like, this is not normal. This is not normal. How did you do that? Is there another Cody Skurlock in the company somewhere whose numbers I'm looking at? Like, what's happening? To this day, I'm still blown away. The student has by far surpassed the teacher, and he still credits me with his success, and I think it's hilarious. I'm just like, oh, yeah, okay, thank you. He had no limiting beliefs, and so he just kind of like did it. Brilliant. Now I'm going to tell you a much more depressing story about myself. Remember how we started with that story about how I got into real estate and like nailed it? Yeah, it happened. The reason that I suddenly didn't nail it and didn't close any business for 6 months was because I was in a class called Ignite. You guys may have not have heard of it. And my coach in Ignite, her name was Mary O'Connor. She talked just like this. Now she runs a sandwich shop called Mary O's Grub to Go. Sounds just like that. My impressions are great. Jesse will tell you.
Great, you can tell.
So she told us that we should find an accountability partner. And you guys should do that. We'll talk about that a little bit later in today's books. But what I noticed is that whenever they said, hey, you should find an accountability partner, everybody in my class said something to the effect of, they were like, oh, I'm going to have my husband or my wife or my dog or my therapist or my hairstylist told me, and I was just like, that sounds really unintimidating. Like, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, what's your hairstylist going to do? Give you a bad haircut? I don't know. Like, I was just like, and so I remember my exact thought, and I will clean it up for political correctness. I decided I was going to find the scariest person in this building. I was going to find the scariest person, and that person was going to be my accountability partner. And I found a woman by the name of Celisa Wilson. Rest in peace. She's not dead. She's not here anymore. So, so Celisa Wilson became my accountability partner. By the way, I love Celisa. To this day,
choice.
I love her. I love her. And she was trying to protect. Have you ever had like your parents discourage you from doing something, not because it was the wrong thing for you to do, but because like they were trying to protect you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what happened. Celisa told me, she wouldn't even remember this, by the way, but it had a huge impact on me. She said, hey, I just want to let you know, you're getting lucky with for sale by owners right now, it's not like a long-term strategy for success. So just keep that in mind. Like, this isn't forever. Like, eventually you're going to have to like do something different to get deals. The worst thing that I could have done is what I did. I believed her. I believed her. What she didn't realize, I don't blame her for this. I don't. She was trying to protect me. She filled my mind with limiting beliefs. I believed her. And for the next 6 months, I closed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nothing. I nearly starved to death. I mean, seriously. I had to sell my car so that I could pay my mortgage. I mean, it was bad. It was as bad as you could imagine. I don't know how to communicate it any other way other than to start crying. Like, it was bad. And it, like, nothing changed about me. The market didn't change. It had nothing to do with any exterior circumstances. It was all up here. Someone who I really respected and who was my mentor told me that I couldn't do it. And I went, oh God, you're right. Stupidest thing ever. So if anyone at any point tells you you can't, just so you know, they're fucking wrong. They're wrong. They're just wrong. Stop. I would not waste your time. Need I remind you that you're at the #1 real estate company on the planet? Yes, go ahead.
What's the second? If people that go to pharmacology school become pharmacists are the second most
Yes.
experience most suicide. What's the first?
I do know the answer, and I don't understand it, but I do know the answer. It's dentists.
Dentist.
Wow.
I don't know why. If I was not
I'm fine, we can take that.
if I was not a crippling germophobic person, then I would be a dentist. I would love that job.
Okay, sorry.
I can't do saliva.
I have a question.
Yeah. I can't do saliva.
What was your turning point that made you realize I can do this?
God, that was such a good question.
That was
Please beat every class. Please beat every class.
Great question.
I don't have a like a thought out answer to that. So I'm just gonna like take you through my process of thought. First and foremost, at some point, this should be a quote. At some point, poverty becomes really motivational. Like, you become really motivated to like not die and like being foreclosed on and like with the power turned off. My water got turned off 6 times. That's not a joke. I bought a meter key so that I could go and turn my water back on. And I bought bolt cutters so I could cut the city's bolt off and turn my water back on. This is not a joke. I'm not
How much are you
kidding.
gonna make this year?
Huh?
How much are you gonna make this year?
I'll probably make $400,000 to $500,000.
Okay, sorry.
We're an open book company, by the way. You can look this stuff up. You can look it up. It's fine. We don't do that whole thing where it's like, it's not polite to talk about money. We're here for
No,
freedom,
it's right
flexibility, and wealth. We should just talk about money. It's fine. You're allowed to make it, and you shouldn't feel ashamed of it. And I'll make $400,000 to $500,000.
Congratulations.
So back to your question. So the same woman that gave me a lot of limiting beliefs was still trying to help me. I was on her team, actually. And she hired me a person called an ISA. And she probably hired the worst ISA. You guys have any idea what I'm saying with an ISA? Okay. An ISA is an inside sales agent, or inside sales assistant. That person's job is to make phone calls to prospects to set appointments for you, the agent. That's that person's job. And this person was probably the lowest fit in the world for that position. And so I would go into the office and I would listen. His name is Jeremy. I would listen to Jeremy make phone calls. And do you guys want to hear Jeremy's script?
Please.
Anybody want to hear Jeremy's script? Okay, it's gonna be really good. Hi, my name is Jeremy with Wheelhouse Realty at Keller Williams. How are you today? Good. The reason I'm, how are you today? I noticed there's you have a house first. How are you today? That was Jeremy's script. Folks, Jeremy was setting appointments. I was going on listing appointments. That script, that person, folks, I don't know how to stress this to you enough. If you do the freaking, you could speak the wrong language. You're going to go on appointments. Make the stupid phone call. I don't care. He was an idiot. I love him. Moron. He had a personality disorder. He used to smell coffee to wake up in the morning, but he wouldn't drink it. I don't know. The guy, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. One time he was on the phone with me and he showed up to the office and he came in and he started telling me that conversation he had on the phone with his friend earlier the day. And I was like, Jeremy, that was me you were talking to. And he went, oh, and then he kept going. And I was an idiot. And he was making phone calls and setting appointments. The point is, what happened was I heard that and watched that and saw that and it was exposed to that and was like, oh no, I'm really good at this. No, I'm really good at this. And so I went into Salisa's office. I was like, I don't need him. And then I went back and started making my calls. So what changed was, I think that people learn in two ways. One is pain, one is enlightenment. I had both. I had the pain of poverty. I had the enlightenment of going, oh, yeah, you're not very good at this, but you're getting results. And so as a result of pain and enlightenment, I eventually started doing my job again. So I think I closed 3 million that year. So doesn't matter for a third-year agent. You guys will all do that this year. You guys will all do that this year. So again, the whole point of Ignite, the whole point of this program is to collapse time so you don't have to screw up as many times as I did. Did we cover remove your limiting beliefs? I think we did. Finally, page 13, be accountable. I want everyone to notice whenever I read this page, it does not say be held accountable, it says be accountable. There is, does anybody here know who Carissa Acker is? I know you know who Carissa Acker is. Carissa is arguably the most successful agent in this building by dollar production.
3 Molly switch off.
Yeah, she's a genius. She's brilliant. And if you like saw her and spoke to her, you would go, what a trip. She's her hair is always several different colors. Anyway, I love Carissa. I love her. And it's like a deep visceral love too. She gave me a great piece of advice one time because again, I've been running my team for 5 years. I've had somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 agents on my team. And I currently have 1. Okay, so what that means is that at least 20 people have come and then left. And that's because a few different reasons. One, I was really bad at hiring. But one day I sat Carissa down and she's got the people that she hires for her team are loyal and they're high producers and they're go-get, like, and I'm just like, Carissa, how do you hire people that you're able to hold accountable? And she looked at me and she said, I don't want to hold people accountable. I just want to hire accountable people. And I went, oh, that made me feel like an idiot. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. So I don't want to hold any of you accountable. I just want you to be accountable. You are business owners. I genuinely think that whenever you get a real estate license and you join the #1 real estate, have I said this before? You're the #1 real estate company on the phone. Okay, you become a business owner. You own a business now. So I expect you to be accountable, not for me. I don't care. But I expect you to be accountable. So just do that. Just be accountable. I don't think anyone needs to hold you accountable. Have an accountability partner to help you with those things, but not to hold you accountable. Okay. Oof. We're gonna get to Jesse's favorite page, which is page 14. We're gonna talk about the this is the types of people in classes. I'm gonna add one. I'm gonna add my own. Should we add the class blockers on here? I'm just kidding. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Okay, so there's 3 types of people in trainings, and I gotta tell you, we grow some of the best here at KW Denton. There is the prisoner, okay, and this is the person that has to be here, doesn't want to be here, and doesn't know why they're here. Folks, I cannot stress this enough. You're a business owner. No one can force you to do anything. If you do not want to be here, please, by all means, go away. Go away. I don't want you here either. I hate nothing more than looking out on an audience of miserable people. I hate it. I will tell you, I get fulfillment from nothing more than standing in the front of this room. I really don't. The reason I volunteer, it's not for you. I'll be honest, it's not for you. It's for me. I love it. I love it. I love being at the front of the room. I do. And it kills me whenever I look out and see a whole bunch of like oatmeal dripping out. I was like, we didn't serve oatmeal. It's just like I can't stand it. So if you're going to be miserable here, I can love you from afar. Go be successful elsewhere. Okay. If you don't see value in training at the #1 training company on the face of the planet across all industries, okay, I just don't know if there's any hope for you. Okay, I just don't know if there's any hope for you. And so I love you. Go away. Get out right now. Go. Don't be here. The next person is the vacationer. This is the person that a day in the training room is better than a day at the job. I have coined a phrase for these people. I say that they're hiding out in the classroom. There are agents that have been to every training imaginable. And I got to tell you, it's just like if they had a choice between a listing appointment or, we've got an inspector at the office teaching a class on water wells. I think I better go to that. I think I better go to that. By the way, there's a caveat here. We have an exceptional office staff, like one of the best of any market center, just so you know. And our market center staff will make every single class seem like it's the most important class you could possibly take. Because that's their job. Their job is to get butts in seats in this training room. And so sometimes you just have to put it through your filter of common sense. If there is a class on like water wells, and you could potentially be going on a listing appointment, maybe you should go on the listing appointment. You probably don't need to know everything about water wells. Now, if you're selling a lot of rural property up in Crum and Sanger and you're like, man, I keep running into this water well issue, that's probably a badass class for you to go take. Do that. But man, sometimes we offer classes here and the room is full and I'm like, what is happening here? This is a very specialized topic for this group. But then we'll teach a class on like, hey, get your data. Literally, the most valuable resource to a real estate agent is your database. We'll teach you, get your database in order class, and like 3 people will show up, and it's Jesse, Lane, and me. And just like, I already have my database. I'm just here to support you when you're not here. So just the vacationer, like you're cool. Yes, we have an air-conditioned training room, and you can come and hang out in it. My suggestion is that if it's between this and like a listing appointment, you should go take the appointment. Finally, the explorer. This is the person who's excited and curious about new knowledge, skills, and tools they will discover in class. Like that's what you have to do. Look for insights, ask questions. I love the question that you ask. Anytime you can challenge the presenter to like give you a deeper answer, do that. Yes.
Here I like to, there are a lot of us that have mastery coaches that will be taking Ignite. I've committed to take Ignite, by the way. I'll have to do it in a little different fashion than hopefully y'all have to, but, and I also have a mastery coach. I'm a mastery level lead generator and I'm taking Ignite, and here's how I do it. I take the mindset of, well, the book calls it explorer, but in my mind, I change it to beginner. I want a beginner's mindset. Because I know that when hopefully my son one day takes the ball field in the MLB, the very first thing that he does is throw the ball around with his teammates and they practice fundamentals. So that's the mindset that I am adopting in order to take this course from the leaders that do it even better than I.
Aw, that makes sense, doesn't it? I will tell you that I take just about every class with a healthy bit of cynicism, okay? And that doesn't mean that I don't believe what the instructor's telling me. It doesn't mean that I don't believe the material. What it is I'm always going to challenge, I'm a challenger. I'm always going to challenge the status quo, okay? You can't challenge anything if you're not like paying attention, okay? And if you're not like really being heavily involved and thoughtful about what's being taught. So if at any point you want to challenge the material, I'm totally game for that. So challenge it, do that, it's fun. All right, we're on page 15, action reveal. Okay, Here's a real question that I genuinely don't know the answer to, and I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm not trying to shame anybody. There was homework before attending today's class. Did anyone do it? Did anyone do it? You did it. Oh, one person. I love that. Did anyone else know that there was homework? Okay, cool. So it's that's okay. It's day one. And again, you're business owners. There's no like grades here. And if there were, I wouldn't be the one to give them out. There is something called your daily mission. Now, Lane, there's a resource. There's a way that they can access this material on KW Connect or on MyKW, and I don't know how to do it. So is it okay if I refer people to you if they don't know how to get to the place with the thing?
Yes, come see me after class and we'll get you to the thing.
Get you to the thing. Yeah. So there were 6 videos, which is called the 6 personal perspectives, which is what we just went through. There's stuff, right? And I'm just getting you set up with your kw.com email address. I'm gonna give a quick caveat on that. If you are using an email address that's like I'm the greatest realtor ever at gmail.com, sorry. That's just the wrong way to do it. Okay? Your client's data is not safe on Gmail server. It's not safe on Hotmail's server. It's certainly not safe on AOL's server. Okay? So you can buy your own email domain. Mine is Eves Realty Group, so I'm thomas@evesrealtygroup.com. I also have Thomas at KW. I have thomas@eveshomeservices.com. Do you know what each of those web addresses that's not the KW one costs me? It's $3 a month. Okay, so you can afford it, and you should. But if you're using your Gmail, just so you know, I love you, and you're doing it wrong. If you print a Gmail email address on a business card, I will burn your house down. If you print it on your car, I will steal your car and I will drive it into Lake Louisville. You're just doing it wrong, okay? And don't do it wrong because you're going to embarrass me. You're the #1 real estate company on the face of the planet. Just use the KW email address if nothing else, okay? Not that hard to set up. And if you don't know how to set it up,
come see me
see
after
Lane
class.
after class, and Lane will help you with that. Everybody understand why I'm saying that? Does everybody understand like where that's coming from? Like it's a huge marketing problem. And I think, I know, this will shock you. I'm a millennial. Okay. So the stuff that's important to us is not important to older generations. And I can assure you that having a professional email address is important. Like if you had if you hired a lawyer and he was like, hey, meet me in the back of my Buick Century, it would be like, that's very strange. Like, where's your office? Okay. That's the same thing like emailing your realtor and Gmail emails. Like hold on. What are you doing? Are you even a realtor? It says I'm a realtor at gmail.com, but are you a realtor? So let's just not do that. Okay. So some expectations for this power session. We're on page 16, by the way. So some expectations for this power session. Your technical title is Capper in Training. Have we defined Capper? Do they know what that is?
Why don't you define it for them?
Okay. Do y'all know what a Capper is? Freaking name. That'd probably be the Webster's dictionary definition, and you'd be like, wow, that was not helpful at all. Okay, so a capper is someone who, the way I like to think of it is you're a person who has earned the right to take 100% of your commissions for the rest of your calendar year. And so we cap at $18,000 of company dollar, which is about $2 million in production. So close $2 million in production, you'll be capped. By the way, I will cap this year in 1 month. So people that are, I love talking to people from other brokerages. I love talking to people from other brokerages who are just like, I would go to Keller Williams, but there's a split. And I go, no, there's not. There's not. Keller Williams is a 100% company. And they're like, well, no, there's a 70-30 split. And I'm like, oh, you mean for the first $2 million? Yeah, but I closed that in a month. I don't know. What are you talking about? It's 100%. And they're just like, what are you talking about? The thing is, if you're in the mindset that you're paying a split, just so you know, you don't have to pay it for long. You just close $2 million and then you don't have a split anymore. It's fine. Your 18 grand is well worth it. Just don't forget you're the #1 training. You have an encyclopedia of knowledge at kwconnect.com that you don't have at any other company on the face of the planet. So just close the $2 million in a month. It's no big deal. Just go do that. It's fine. So we're trying to get you to that cap. That's the whole point of this course is we're trying to get you capped. Because once you, and by the way, I love that we reward our cappers. There's a capper wall over here with a bunch of people's faces on it who may or may not have capped. I don't know. We put them up years ago. Who knows? Are they all still here? We created a capper wall. I was just like, that's going to be way too much maintenance. And the office staff was like, no, not y'all. The people before you. We're like, no, we love it. It's going to be great. I was like, I think it's going to be miserable. But okay, you guys do that. Once you have capped, you have hit a glorious milestone known as, wait for it, the poverty line. Good job. You nailed it. Great job. You hit the poverty line. And I'm not joking. Like it's like, what is the poverty line? Like 36,000, something like that. What is it? What is it? But that's what you hit when you cap. So like being a capper is awesome. And what it means is you've hit the point where now you get to go make your real money. So like if it's taking you 11 months to cap, you're probably not doing it right. Probably not doing it right. So we're gonna learn to cap faster. So your cappers in training, we're gonna change the title to your fast cappers in training. That's what you're doing. So as a student of Ignite, you're expected to complete the following. One is declare your personal big why. I cannot believe they made that the first bullet point because I will tell you it took me like 6 years to figure out what my big why was, okay? Has anybody in here read The One Thing? Has anybody? You have?
Audible.
Aww. So yeah, Audible. So The One Thing, has anybody in here read Find Your Why by Simon Sinek? Good, it's trash. So God, I've got to, this is like such a huge thing that I have to define. I really don't want to screw it up for y'all. If you don't know why your feet are hitting the floor in the morning, you're going to suck at every entrepreneurial endeavor. I'm just letting you know. If you don't know why your feet are hitting the floor every morning, and like, yes, you have to make money to like pay bills and survive, but that's not super like inspirational. It's not inspirational. And so it took me years to finally figure it out. And every time I had a coaching call, they were just like, what is your big why? And I was just like, I just want nice stuff. I just want nice stuff. I don't know. I'm just like, and I'm listening to all of yeah, Kathy.
What is your big why?
I'm gonna get there. There were always the average age of a realtor is 54. Okay, it's coming down by the way, but the average age of a real estate agent is 54 years old. And what I would usually hear whenever I would ask people like, "What's your big why?" They would always give the same answer. They'd be like, "No, it's my kids. It's my kids. I just want my kids to have a great life." And I was just like, "Oh God, I just don't relate to that. I don't. I think your kids are great." Yeah, that one looks a little weird, but I think your kids are great. And that just wasn't inspirational to me. I was just like, what is your big why? And so I finally figured it out. So I'm gonna tell you what my big why is, okay? My big why is I am passionate about getting out of the business of real estate. You guys are probably going like, that's a really weird thing to say. No,
Praise Jesus.
hold on, let me get there. Real estate's an awesome career if there's an end game, okay? Most real estate companies, there's one that, like they were created in century 20, I forget which one it's called, century 20, I don't know. It's full of a bunch of old people. It's not quite Ebby. Ebby is the morgue, but we literally call it the morgue. Go over there and smell. It's the morgue. So bless their hearts, Ebby. Oh, love her. So their philosophy is like you make money for them up until the day that you take your last sign out of your last yard, and then you just sort of go home. There's not really like a retirement. There's not a 401k. There's not, you just kind of like, you're just done doing that. And so one of the things that I always ask people is just like, so what are you gonna do when you're done selling real estate? And they're just like, dude, I just got here. I'm like, yeah, I know. And what are you gonna do when you're done doing this? There has to be an end game, okay? So my big why is I'm passionate about getting to the point that my business is well leveraged enough that I can step out of it. And you know what I'm gonna do when I step out of it? I'm gonna teach real estate agents how to do the exact same thing. The reason for that is because I hate seeing people in pain. I can't watch slasher movies, can't watch any of the Saw stuff, can't do it. I hate watching people in pain. I can't do it. It doesn't work. It's also why I'm not a dentist. See, coming back to that. I can't watch people in pain. And so what I find is that real estate agents are like miserable. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And even when they do know what to do, they won't do it. And so I'm passionate about getting those people to the point where they're out of pain and into the point where they can leverage their businesses and grow huge, massive wealth so that they can get out of the business of real estate and do whatever they want to do, right? So as soon as I get out of the business of real estate, I get to go help people. That's my big why. And that's awesome. And so if you're thinking like, it's my kids, like, okay, it might be. If that gets you out of bed in the morning, kick ass, do it. And if it doesn't, you should just explore that a little bit further. There are texts to help you with that. The one thing is a great one. But it's you guys really need to figure out what it is. And I will tell you, it was way easier to get out of bed in the morning as soon as I figured that out. As I get old, I'm telling you, the moment I hit 30, I started waking up at 7 a.m. I don't know what happened. I hit 30 and all of a sudden it was like every morning. I don't know what it was. I used to be able to sleep till noon. Now I can't sleep like past 6. It's the weirdest thing. Something about getting older, just like it just happens, just clicks. Okay, set your monetary goal. I, being a high D personality, am much more into the personal goal or into the monetary goal thing. How much money do you want to make? And we're gonna go through an exercise today because I don't really care what you gross. We're talking about what you net, right? I don't really care how much money you earn. I'm talking about how much money you make, right? How much money you take home. Be accountable. Remember we said don't be held accountable. Be accountable to your big why and your monetary goal. And we're going to talk about using influencing sales language. We're going to go really deep into that category. Okay, so do I have to read this part about the Ignite faculty? No, I'm not going to. All right, so some ground rules through Ignite. We're on page 17. I will tell you that Ignite is designed for you to do tasks, not learn tasks. Okay, so we're going to do some stuff in Ignite, and we're going to do most of it from the hours of 9 to 10 a.m. Just so you guys know, this class is from 9 to noon. Okay, so there's your actions from 9 to 10 in the future. And then you'll learn new material from 10 to noon. What that does not mean is you show up at 10 for the instruction. That's not what that means. What that means is you show up at 9 to do the important part, and then we can learn new material from 10 to noon. Thomas, do I have to do the stuff? No. You're a business owner. If you want to sit here and look like, you know what I learned when I first got into real estate, whenever I was calling for sale by owners, what I learned is every second that I spent not prospecting, somebody else was talking to my clients. Yeah, that's what I realized. That was a really tough discovery. My suggestion is that you do the stuff. I'm not going to make you. No one's going to make you. No one's going to stand behind you and watch you make your phone, unless that's what you hire your accountability partner to do. I'm not going to do it. I won't do it. I've been very clear about not doing it. You don't want to do it, that's fine. My suggestion is that you do it. That wasn't what number 1 said at all. Arrive in class on time. So on time is 9 a.m. Or is there a different time on Friday?
Nope. 9:12.
It's 9:12? Okay. We used to do
that where?
Yeah, we used to do 2 to 5 on Friday. Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. So be fully present. Turn your laptops, tablets, and phones or vibrate off. This book was written like in the 90s. So you can be on your laptops. Just make sure you're like looking at the material and doing relevant real estate things. How you participate in here is how you participate everywhere. Whenever I was in, I know that I look super cool up here in my blazer, my t-shirt, but I used to be in this thing called marching band. And then after that, I was in this thing called drum corps. And what we learned in marching band and drum corps is how you practice is how you perform. And what that meant is if you goof off in practice and just try to like show up for the performance, you're gonna look like an idiot. So how you participate here is how you participate everywhere. So if you're not like super awesome in here, you're probably not gonna be super awesome in an appointment. Okay. Respect the different learning styles and opinions of others. This is one that I'm still working on. This is one that I'm still 8 years in working on. And I'm going to end right there. Number 5, help each other learn because none of us is as smart as all of us working together. Man, these are hard. Man, these are really hard. Look, in all seriousness, there are people that learn at different paces and in different ways. And you might think that was a stupid question, or didn't we just answer that? And we just have to be nice to those people. Yes, Jesse.
Here, I will stay completely in culture here,
Mhm.
but it may not sound like it for a second.
Yeah.
Guys, if you like are lacking computer skills, just go get good. Just go get good. Go get good at it, and then come back when you're ready. We'll meet you where you're at. But no, let's grow into, like as you said, Thomas, the conversations around us and the extent our business will grow to the extent that we do. And so thank you for the reminder to not slow down class with stuff that doesn't belong.
If you're sitting in a class and like you discover that there's like some mastery level stuff going on and people are talking about building freaking empires and you're like, I don't know how to log into my Gmail yet. Like I love you, and shut up and enjoy that moment. I remember the first time I took Bold, it was just like, I was in a room full of like $10 to $30 million producers who were sitting there like crying, like because of how many insights they were getting. And I was just like, I have no idea what's going on, but it's great. So, and I figured it out by the time I took Bold 2.0, I was that guy that everybody was watching going, what's going on? I can see the video on my computer. Is anyone else having problems not seeing the video?
No, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Done, we're good.
From Lane Taylor, what an idiot.
That's a direct hit.
Direct hit, you sunk my battleship.
Yeah, Lane knows that. 6, consider everything we discuss confidential. Yeah, so that's a really important point. We're gonna have some coaching moments in here where sometimes we're gonna have to dig deep into someone's personal issues. And what we don't do is go downstairs to Beth and go, you're not gonna believe what happened today. Like it's cool. And what we talk about, I'm just, Beth is the only one that's always down there. I'm not saying Beth is the town gossip. I'm just saying I know she's down there. And we don't need to go down there and just tell everyone the personal stuff we talked about up here. We've gotten personal today. Don't tell them about the hemorrhoid thing I mentioned earlier. Talk about that. Oh God, it's happening. Commit to implementing at least one thing that you learn. No, let's just commit to implementing all the things you learn. Here's a statistic that's totally true that I learned recently. 98% of the people in these classes will implement nothing that they learned. Okay. I used to be fearful because I teach a lot of classes on literally the proprietary materials that I have created. I'm giving away my stuff, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to teach that, and everyone else start using it. Like I'm literally gonna like dilute my own market share by teaching this stuff, and then I realized, oh, they're not gonna do it. They're not going to do it. 98% of them aren't going to do it. And so I've been teaching the same material for 6 years now, and guess what? They don't do it. They don't do it. And I love you, and I hope that you're the group that's going to change that. I really do. I teach a class called Sell Your Listings. I'll teach that next Friday, by the way. It's my favorite class to teach. I've been teaching for 6 years. It's my favorite class to teach. So be it that. And I remember, I'm not going to name this agent. I really won't. There is an agent in this office who walked up to me after I taught that class one time, and this agent, who will remain nameless, was like, oh my God, that was the best class I've ever taken. She's like, I got so many insights, like I had so many notes, thank you so, like she had tears in her eyes. I was like, wow, thank you so much. That agent went on to take her first listing about a month later and did the exact opposite of everything I taught in the greatest class she'd ever taken. So just so you know, there's a pretty high margin of people that will learn things in here and then do none of it. So please change the course. Change the course. Number 8, have fun. I love what Jesse said. What do you always say?
If I can't have fun, I quit.
Yeah. Like if it's not fun, I'm not interested. And I love that. If it's not fun, I remember, and by the way, sometimes it's not fun. I remember whenever I took Ignite, there was an agent who I will not name, Ben Clark, who I'm sure I've learned things about the Market Center since then. I've learned things. I know better now. But someone dragged that poor soul into this room, bless Ben's heart, and said, it's really easy. I need someone to teach Ignite. All you have to do is read out of the book. And so Ben Clark came up here and went, skill number one, know your big why and monetary goals. What drives you is not only your mindset and attitude, but what you're passionate about. Bullet number one, what stirs your, I mean, this was the class. That was the class. And I had never contemplated like taking myself out before that class, but I did then. Those stairs over there, I was just like, the landing is kind of like, yeah, I could probably do it. So anyway, my suggestion is, you know, just have fun. So if I had asked Ben more questions during that class, it would have been great, but I didn't. I was being the vacationer. Remember that? Okay. Make it happen. We're going to talk about 4 skills. Know your big why, monetary goal, commitment to lead, daily lead generation, use influencing sales language, which we will go to in just a second, and be accountable to your big why, monetary goal. Okay, we're finally on page 19. Skill number 1. No. So I'm going to step out of culture. I'm sorry. I hate these questions. I hate them. The questions are, what stirs your soul? Why are you in this business? What do you hope to achieve for yourself and your family? Can we just like cut this? Sorry. Can we just, oh, my director of ops, Julian Peralta, has just showed up. Gosh, now I'm really nervous. So I hate these questions.
You're about to say cut the shit.
Yeah, cut the shit. Can we just do that? Do I have your permission to do that? Let's just get serious for a second. Everyone gets into business for the same 3 reasons. Everyone gets into real estate for the same 3 reasons. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your familial situation is, what your past career is. I don't care where you are. You get into business for the exact same reasons. We all do. And it's for freedom, flexibility, and wealth. Okay. It might be weighted differently. Okay. It might be different for different people, but it's the same. You're here for freedom. You're here for flexibility, and you're here for wealth. Right. Most people nail the first 2. Got a ton of freedom, and man, am I flexible. You want me to come at a listing appointment on Sunday at 11 p.m., I'm there. Yeah, you're very flexible, but most people don't really crush the wealth part. So here's the thing. We're here for the wealth so that we can have the freedom and flexibility. I get that. Here's my favorite way to ask this question. What's at stake if you don't? You don't have to tell me, by the way. Just think about it. What's at stake if you don't? Because I know, again, this is we're having an ID moment or an A moment. You could try to inspire me all day long with like, you know, visualize yourself in your office and the other agents are working really hard and, you know, you're going on 2 listing appointments. I'm just like, oh God, okay, yeah, all right. Let's paint the really, really vivid, like nightmare scenario of like what doesn't happen, like what happens if you like don't crush it, and like you come home, your home is boarded up, and there's a sign on the door that says foreclosed, like all of your furniture is on the curb, like that. Like that's the stuff that gets me like, oh yeah, no, I better do something. For some reason, that's what motivates me. So what I would think about is what's at stake if you don't nail this entrepreneurial venture you're going on in real estate, which by the way, becoming an entrepreneur and getting into real estate, you're going to learn more about yourself than you ever did. You're going to learn about yourself. You're going to learn how much endurance you have. You're going to learn how much grit. Oh, great book. There's my first recommended reading, Grit by Angela Duckworth. That defines what we were talking about earlier, where I was just like, you got some real pieces of work doing really well in real estate just because they'll do the tasks. That's the book. It's called Grit. I should read that.
By who?
Angela Duckworth. So, and you can audible that one. Okay, we're on page 20. Let's read these bullet points. Have your financial success tied directly to your efforts instead of salary, controlled by the opinions of a boss, to build your own business, to achieve a bigger life through your business. Okay, I'm going to take a wild guess here. How many people in this room have ever had a boss? Okay. Was that like, other than Jesse, was that like an awesome experience? No hands went up. Oh, good job, lady. Language to raise. Here's the thing. I've had bosses that I love. Okay. I have bosses whom I've sold their homes. Okay. They were useful. I got into the business of real estate because I always felt like is going to come across arrogant, but I always felt like I knew better than they did. I was like, why are they doing it this way? What inspired me to get into real estate is that I just realized that I didn't want to work for people anymore. And I don't mean that in like a funny way, like, yeah, that's fine. Like, no, I mean, seriously, like, I didn't want to work for other people anymore toward their goals and to make them look good. I was like, I can just do this for myself, right? And I thought, man, that'll be a lot easier. I don't have to run things through, other people. I just do, yeah, it's not easier. No, it's not easier at all, but it is really fulfilling. So I think this all feeds into into what I was talking earlier. We all get in for freedom, flexibility, and wealth. Freedom to do whatever you want in your business is awesome. Also, remember to stick to the models. Creative later. Okay, big future. Write down the date 12 months from now. So that would be, what, July 6th of 2022. And now imagine this date is today, right? So here's the thing. Your business is thriving. Your life is everything you dreamed of. Oh, God, this is really hard for a high D to read, but I'm sure some of you high I's are loving this. Your customers rave about the experience and value you provide and think of you when they have a real estate need. Your family and friends are so proud of your success. You're helping others live their dream of homeownership. You're building a foundation momentum for your entire career and gaining relationships. You're the top agent in your market center, rookie of the year, your first year, rookie of the year if you're new. You're poised to hire a part-time assistant and handle your 80% while you take care of your 20%, and you are on the path to build a career worth having, business worth owning, and life worth living. Okay. Is there anything else that should have been in there? It's not in there. Did any of those stand out to any of you? There's a reason I'm asking, by the way. Okay. Finally go into our coaching moment. I think that, these bullet points are great if you are of no substance whatsoever. And yet you guys know where you want your life to be. You do. You all know it. You think about it all the time. Whether you have a vision board and you've got one in your head, right? So you know where you want to go. And I'm telling you, it is accomplishable within a year. It totally is. I'm literally teaching a class on July 29th. The end of July at some point. Do you know what it is?
It's the 29th.
29th. Director of Ops. Director of Ops. There he is. Yes, it's on the calendar, which I look at every day. I have like 2 people managing my calendar because I can't do it. I can't. The point is, you know what you want to look at. I'm literally teaching a class how to increase your business by 240% in 12 months. Okay. I do realize that 0 times 240 equals 0. I know that. So for some of you that have not done business, I realize that you're thinking like percentage-wise, that's probably not great. The whole point of that class is collapse time, so you don't have to make mistakes that I made. Okay, don't make those. Get the personnel in all the right places so that you can be really, really efficient in getting this done faster so that you can get to whatever this goal looks like for you. So I'm not going to ask you what your 12-month goal is, but I really do visualize it and know that you're probably thinking I can't do that in a year. I can't do that in my first year. Oh, no, you can. Remember my cousin Cody we talked about? You can do it in a year. You can, okay? And you should, and now you don't have any excuse to not do it, okay? So we're gonna do the exercise on page 21. We're gonna write some of these down. So the first question here is, what is or was your driving motivation, the why or goal for a career in real estate? That is a really convoluted way of asking, why did you decide to get into real estate? My suggestion is don't say HGTV seemed really cool, and so I decided that I was going to do that.
These rhetorical questions, are you looking for honest answers?
Yeah. Well, you can write down your answer, and if you want to give me some answers, you can. I will appreciate it.
For me, I got into real estate because I realized that the fire service, albeit great and enjoyable and fun and exciting, is not a path to live the life that I want to live with my family. And I'm, like you said, tired of working for other people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I
Great
literally-
database of dying people.
Oh, I love that.
I have to say a joke. I have to.
I love,
It's true though.
the more morbid, the better. I mean, like that mirrors my path perfectly. And not to say that we're not unique, but I'm pretty sure that's everyone.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that's everyone. It's just like, yeah, I want freedom, flexibility, and wealth. Most people tell you, by the way, in order to get wealth, you need to like go to college and get like a high level degree, go get a master's, and then, you know, become a lawyer or a doctor, and then maybe with hard work you could shut up. Just go sell some freaking houses. Seriously, just go do that. It's great. Just go do it. Build a life by design, not by default. That's another goal block somewhere.
On the right side. In the
In the
middle.
right place. In the middle. There it is. Life by design, not by default. Okay, next question is, what will achieving your goal mean for you? You guys have probably gotten way ahead of this, so I'll just start reading all these. What will achieving your goal mean for you? In what ways will your life change? What doors will open for you? Man, has anyone in here ever done either hypnosis or meditation or visualization exercises? Just Jesse and Lane. Okay, you two as well. I will tell you, I'm a high D personality. I'm no BS all the time. It's my personality. My nickname, whenever I was on a real estate team a few years ago, was No Nonsense. That's what they called me. I don't have time for nonsense. Let me tell you something. That stuff looks like nonsense. It's not. It's not. I will never forget the first time I took Bold. Bold used to be vastly different, by the way. It's different now. COVID made it
October.
different. October. It's
Live, Bold.
live? Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, that'll be great. That'll be great. Everybody should take it. We'll talk about that down the road. If you have no idea what Bold is, basically it's 7 to 8 weeks of like the most intense real estate training, though it's really not specific to real estate. It is, but it isn't. Mindset training that you could possibly immerse yourself into. And I will never forget the first time they took me through a guided visualization exercise. And it was wild. It was wild. You basically, they virtually hypnotize you into meeting an older version of yourself and having a conversation with that person. If you're thinking this sounds crazy, it is. It's totally crazy. That's why everyone thinks that we're in a cult at KW.
It works.
We are.
That's the Kool-Aid, right?
We're in the
there,
most
baby.
profitable cult in the world. We haven't done a single human sacrifice yet. 39 and a half years. So I mean, it's going well. I'd say things are going pretty well. So they took me through this guided visualization exercise, and I mean, I got so much clarity. I got so many insights from this. They finished the exercise, and I opened my eyes, and there's a room full of crying baby boomers, and I was just like, oh my God. Salisa, the hardest bee to ever walk the planet, is back there. She's crying. And I'm just like, what is happening? This is a cult. The reason for that is because these people are gaining like crazy insights. Like, so it's just, whenever I read these questions, like, what will achieving your goal mean for you? And I know you're writing down like, my family will get that. Yeah, like they're stupid answering. It's because you're not immersed in it. And so like, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on the like, you're trying to come up with, well, I guess it will look okay because, you know, if I don't be able to paint that door, like, I know that this is not, it's not inspirational in the way that it's being presented, but I swear to God, read the texts, go to the classes, it is inspirational, okay? From your answers on the previous page, write one statement that summarizes your big why. Stupid, okay? I mean, if you know it, if you do, first of all, you're awesome. Second of all, you're in the minority. It took me years. It took me years to figure out what my big why was. So what I would say is write something down that is meaningful to you, and just know it's subject to change. It's subject to change.
Yes.
I thought that my big why was I wanted nice stuff, and then I convinced myself that it was that I wanted to take care of my parents, and then I convinced myself that it was like, yeah, go for it.
Can I just tell you that it's never wrong either?
That's true. That's totally true.
It's never wrong.
That's totally true.
It's if your big why right now is because you want a black N4 with black rims or something like that. Don't let anybody tell you that that's vain or a bad goal or a small goal or a big goal. It's not measurable. It's just yours.
So.
That's a great point. There's also,
Somebody told me that.
yeah, no, well, yeah, same. Well, there's an exercise in Bold, and this is basically mini Bold, the way that we're doing it. There is an exercise in Bold where they're literally, they give you an infinite amount of money and they're like, right, what are you gonna go buy? And you're like, and you're sitting there trying to like be like, polite, like, oh, you know, I would pay for college for my kids. Like, yeah, what else? And you like literally get to the end and you're like, I don't know, a yacht, a helicopter, an island, I don't know. You don't have to, the point is just like, it's okay to want more money and want to spend it and want to enjoy. That's cool. We love that. Live a life by design, not by, and you don't live a life by someone else's design. One of the hardest goals to accomplish is a goal that's not yours. I had that struggle whenever I was going through real estate. I was just like, I would like to sell this many houses and I would like to close this much volume so that I can help our family. And I was sitting there, I was just like, why is this so hard to hit? And I realized like, it's not my goal. It's not my goal. That's not my goal. My goal has nothing to do with how many families I'm helping. And by the way, if you're just sitting there, it's like, I love to help people. That's amazing. Good job. It's not me.
Why?
Yeah, seriously.
Why?
Why? Why are you so passionate about that? Anyway, man, this is
Great
super
point.
Ignite. This is.
This is super.
We're not sticking to any, we're not on the, that's one thing about any of my classes you take, we're never going to stick to the surface. I can't live on the surface. I just don't have fun there. It's like, yeah. Tell me about your mother. You guys don't ever want to go on a date with me. So, all right, number 23, one of my favorite pages. By the way, we have a special guest in here that I want to introduce, and it's Miss Kay Kitchens,
Yay!
ALC member. And you've been in the business for how many decades?
32 years.
32 years. I think Kay knows a thing or two.
You look amazing for 30.
Kay, are you teaching a session with Ignite?
Friday. I'm watching you.
What course?
Learn.
Oh, God. Yeah, don't do it how I do it. No, what class are you teaching?
Prospecting.
Oh,
Prospecting.
that would be great because you're
Kind
with
of
me.
business.
Kay's awesome. So,
You are so sweet. You are so good.
see, this is why I keep Kay around to butter up my ego. I'm very insecure until Kay shows up. So,
I am a Thomas fan.
yes, finally, there's one. Okay, 23, we're going to talk about your monetary goal. Okay, so now that you know your big why, what will it take to fund your life and your big why? So write your annual monetary goal down here. All right, so I would say this is your first year in real estate goal. Okay, everyone usually picks the same number, by the way. Everyone usually picks the same number.
What is it?
Well, everybody writes them down. I'll take it.
Okay.
I would love to pick one person, and I would love to do the financial thermostat exercise. That'd be super fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you've written your number down, if anybody is willing to go through the financial thermostat exercise, which is not an exhaustive exercise, it takes 30 seconds. That's fine. Just let me know. Go do the.
Do it.
Okay. What's the number you wrote down?
120,000.
120,000. Cool. By the way, the number everybody always writes down $100,000. It's 120 school overachieve. Because someone at some point in the history of America decided that is the pinnacle for a six-figure salary is the pinnacle of success.
It's actually 75 on the happiness scale.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
We know that now.
75 enough is happy. I will
Doesn't
say.
get any happier after 75.
Yeah. I can tell you what number I got really happy at. It wasn't 75, but I'm bougie. So it wasn't 75. At 75, I was still like, I'm not going to pay the mortgage. Where is this all going? I remember calling my dad and I was like, Dad, I made like $80,000 this year and I don't know where any of it is. I think it went to someone else. Really weird. He was just like, you probably ate it. I was like, I probably did.
Yeah.
Probably did. What do they say? They say you either ate it, drank it, or experienced it.
Oh, I don't know.
And I was just like, I didn't have $80,000 worth of experiences. Let me tell you, Waterburger ain't raised their prices that much. I still don't know where it went. Had to figure it out. I'm glad you're enjoying this. 120,000. That's awesome. So we get to July 6th of 2022, and you have closed $110,000. Is that cool with you? 110?
No.
No. Okay, why not?
It's not my goal.
Okay. So you are one of the 2% of people that are actually like, no. Most people, you take them through this exercise and you're just like, well, what if you made 100,000? And they go, yeah, no, actually that'd still be good because you're only making 60 right now, so that's pretty good. And it's like, okay, well, what if it's 75? And they're like, well, you know, it's still 15,000 more than what I made, so that's good. And it's like, okay, what about 70,000? Like, well, that may be kind of disappointing. And they're like, okay, so 75 is your real goal. That's normally what we do. And they go, okay, well, I guess 75 is my real goal. It's called the financial thermostat. So the reason we go through that exercise, and 120 is awesome. The reason we go through that exercise, by the way, is because like your subconscious knows what your monetary goal is, even if you're right. You could have written down anything. Your conscious mind is not super important in real estate. It's just not. It's your subconscious mind that we're working on. And so we got to figure out what your subconscious monetary goal is, because that's the one you're going to work hard to hit. Okay. So if you wrote down something, and as we're going through this exercise, you're deducing it by 5,000, you're going, yeah, that'd be okay. Well, then what you wrote down is not actually your goal. Okay. So my goal, whenever I got into real estate, was $100,000. It took me 3 years to get there because I'm an idiot. So, FYI. Oh, thank you. She's such a mom. You're a good mom. So, okay. So, I'm not reading the exam. We're going to go to page 24. So, we are going to, we're not looking to earn $120,000, right? We're looking to take home $120,000, right? At the end of the day, before taxes. I think we bring in a mastery coach to teach about like tax write-offs too. So we'll do that. I know it's before taxes, but we'll get there. We'll get there in the mastery section. So do we know what is the average sales price in our market?
316,000.
Let's how can we simplify that number? 320
300.
or 300? Oh yeah, 300 makes it actually.
It's
really
been 300. That's a very recent spike.
Okay. So 300,000. So what is the commission on a $300,000 house? Anybody know? 9,000. That's assuming it's 3%, right? We don't do any commission setting, and yet the commission we're usually after is 3% or more. I have clients all the time that say, "Do you negotiate your commission?" I say, "Yes, we can go up as high as you want to."
Come on.
I do. That's my people are just like, "What's your script?" That's my script. That's my script. That's my script every single time. They're like, we had an agent that was willing to do this for 4% total, and I'm always like, that's freaking amazing. I was actually thinking that I really like you too. I usually charge 7, but for you, I will charge 6. People ask me for my scripts all the time. I was like, here they are. Well, Thomas, do they work? Go ask Diana to pull my 7% CDAs. Yeah, it works.
I have your trend.
Yeah. Well, Thomas, how can you justify charging that much? And how can you justify charging that little? Idiot. You guys know what margins are? It's Super Ignite. Sorry, we're doing it. Yeah, it's happening. All right, so the average sales price, are you guys on page 24? First line, average sales price, 300,000. Average commission rate to you is, if it's 3%, that's at the bottom, $9,000. Okay. So we'll basically do this exercise. So GCI times 30%, capped at $20,000. So we're not capped at $20,000. We're capped at $18,000. Got that nice low split here at KW Denton. $18,000, give you that $2,000 discount.
If you want to take longer to pay me, you can.
Yeah. KW loves to be paid in slow and overtime. Okay, that it helps our
I like profit.
budget. Yeah, helps our monthly budget. But if you can, I told them it was okay for them to cap it a month. We just need more of you to do that. So royalty. By the way, no one ever explained this to me. I just kind of had to figure it out for myself, and so Jesse can jump in and correct me. $18,000. That's paying for. That's kind of paying for your local stuff. $3,000 is what pays international.
Exactly.
Yeah. So 18K stays here at home. That stays here at home with you. That pays for all the cool resources that you get the access to here at KW Denton. KW Denton, it's the only way to say it. And then $3,000 is what Gary Keller gets.
Yep.
So that's how that works out. So a total of 23,000. So that's not 23,000. It's 21,000, right? So not like the example, 21,000. So GCI times 30% capped at 18,000. One more reading here.
Would you like math done?
Yeah, please do math.
By the way,
So-
always have your clients do the calculator. We're doing, 300.
So for your example, 120,000 is, so you would have to earn 141,000, right, in order to net that.
Gotcha. The only thing is missing is your expenses.
Yeah, the expenses, which, what does the MREA say your expenses should be?
Well, you know,
At this level,
In y'all's books, none. We don't spend money that we don't have.
that's right.
And so, but to become a realtor, what we teach people is that a very conservative estimate of your first year is $5,000. That's your realtor fees, that's your, insurance, that's your CSS, that's your business cards, that's your absolutely everything.
So we're up to
First year.
146, right? Earn 146. So now all we have to do is figure out, okay, well, how many $300,000 transactions do I have to close in order to earn $146,000? Are y'all okay that we're using the 120 example, by the way? Is that okay for y'all?
Yeah.
Everybody understands where we're coming from? I'm not just throwing random numbers up.
Yes.
So we'll do that calculation. It shows you how to do it on page 25. I'm not a math magician, but I do know how to figure this out my own way, so I'm gonna do it.
If you use 150, then that's where the MREA starts, is 150,000 in GCI example. And so in that case, your expenses would be 30%. That's second year. Yeah, for our first year, we set ourselves up, we use 5,000.
Jesse likes math.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's feeling hard to sticks. Oh,
So-
I'm supposed to be helping you with the calculation.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I got it.
I'm sorry.
No, so basically you need to sell 17 houses. So if we take 17 houses and we divide that by the amount of months that are in the year, that's 1.5 houses. We'll just say that's 2 a month. You need to sell 2 a month. So now all we have to do is go, okay, how many appointments do I have to go on in order to do 2 transactions per month? And then you need to know, okay, well, how many people do I have to contact and have a 2-way real estate conversation with in order to get that many appointments? And then you know exactly how to structure your work schedule. It's super simple. It's not easy, but it is really, really simple, right? How many people do I have to contact in order to go on this many appointments? How many appointments do I have to go on in order to get that many contracts? How many contracts do I have to get in order to close that much volume to make that much money? It's just stupid simple. So 17 houses, is that more or less than you were thinking you were going to need to close in order to make 120 grand?
Less.
Less. Yeah. I think people hear 120 grand, they're like, I'm going to sell like 50 houses. It's like, no, 17. Close 2 months, you'll be there. By the way, that like 2 to 3 houses a month is where most people like try their whole career to get to. And like they won't stick to the freaking models, and so they won't do it. Real estate is relationships. How many relationships can you nurture to get that many contacts, to get that many transactions? Yeah, 17 is super freaking accomplishable. I think you're going to overdo it. I think you all are. So just hurry up. As soon as this class is over, I expect everybody to bring in like 3 listings tomorrow because they're just like, yeah, I just want to get 1 more just in case. All right, we're going to jump to page 27. Commitment to daily lead generation. This is a very interesting example that I read last night, and I didn't understand it. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it in front of a room and see if I understand it this way. And maybe somebody can explain it to me. If you had a factory, you would know how long it takes to make a widget. Everybody knows what a widget is? Uh-huh. And then it says 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours above a line. And then below a line, it says step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And then somehow that equals 8 hours. That doesn't really make any sense to me, but I'm glad. Anybody else? Y'all, it's making sense to you? Good, good. See, there's bobbing heads. Great. I'm really glad that lines up. Apparently, whenever there's a division symbol, what you do is you just add up what's on the top and put an equal sign next to it. And then what's at the bottom doesn't matter.
No, step 1 takes 2 hours, step 2.
Yeah, I'm not. Like, I went to college for a day or 2.
I don't understand why the confusion.
I was a music
lies.
major.
I cannot see you as a music major.
I thank you. I can't. They couldn't either. That's fine. Here now. Really uncomfortable conversation with the dean of the College of Music. So real estate is no different, apparently. It's time over lead gen, time over appointments, time over agreements, time over contracts, time over close, which somehow equals 90 days, by the way. For every day you don't lead generate, 90 days later, you can expect no money. You don't want this to happen. Everybody understand that? See, all I had to do was read the page. I have no idea what it says. I have no idea what it says.
On to the next one.
On to the next one. This is a question that we do get from newer agents pretty often. You know, how long on average does it take to get a buyer or seller into contract? This is 1 to 60 days. Okay. So that is heavily dependent on where the lead came from. So I would say if it was like your friend who said, hey, I've got a friend who's looking to buy a house, here's their information, I would say that's like a 30-day sort of thing. If it like came from Facebook and like it's just like somebody inquired about how much they could buy a house for, and you've got to get them lined up with a lender, maybe do some credit restoration or something like that, that's probably more of a 6-month deal. Okay, so maybe it evens out at 60 days, maybe. I don't know. But it's really dependent on where it came from. Okay, the best leads are warm leads that are given to you by friends and family. Your sphere of influence is gold. It's gold. How long does it take for a transaction to close and for you to get paid in this market? 30, 60 days? I'd say it's accurate. How quickly do you want to get paid or how long can you go without a payday? So this was, whenever Thomas got into real estate, it was like 0 days. It was like 0 days. Just a quick personal anecdote again. I got into real estate in July of 2014. That makes it 7 years. Maybe it's 7. Maybe it was July of 2013. I don't know. I don't know. And I got my first paycheck on November the 8th of 2014. So that would have been. So I think it was actually, I got it in August because I know it was 90 days. So it was 90 days from I've signed, I have a real estate license, I've picked KW, I'm here, to getting my first paycheck. It was an $8,000 check, and I had never seen that much money in my life at the ripe old age of 23 years old, and so I was just like, oh my God, like this is easy. It's easy. I'm basically rich. So I was ready to buy. I was like, what is the down payment on a yacht? I could probably swing it, honestly. So I had a great credit score. So that's just something for you. What will it take for you to get paid so you can begin to fund your big why? Gosh, what a soft question. Okay, so let's talk about the lead generation funnel. I love this visual because it talks about it defines the difference between a lead and appointment agreements and contracts. Every lead will not turn into an appointment. Okay, every FSBO on Zillow, you guys haven't heard of it, I'm going to repeat it. Zillow, Z-I-L, it is. Every FSBO on that website is not going to turn into an appointment for you. They all can be leads, right? And so you get your leads, and then you get the ones that you got your appointments with, right? You're going to go on those appointments. You're not going to get an agreement for every one of those appointments. If you do, hey, that's amazing. Maybe you get 90% of them. That's awesome. Okay, so now you got your agreements. And then not every person that you sign a buyer rep with, that you sign a listing agreement with, are going to go into contract. Again, maybe you do 90, 95% of them. That's awesome. That's your contracts. And then 90 to 95% of your contracts are going to close, and that's when you get paid, right? So that's the funnel. What I find is that real estate agents, they're just like, well, man, I don't have anything in contract. I was like, oh yeah. How many agreements did you get signed last week? Well, 0. Okay, let's just keep going. How many appointments did you set? It was 0. Nope. Okay. How many leads did you pursue? It was 0. Okay. Do you guys have any idea what the population of your MLS area is? There's millions of there's millions of people there. It's like more than the population of several states. several states, and you're actually licensed in the whole state of Texas, but your MLS area is here, right? And so it's like literally from the Red River all the way down to like Waco. It's from like, what's the place? Weatherford all the way to like Farmersville or Greenville or whatever. Like it's like a huge swath of area, okay? And there's millions of people in that area. And so what I find is that like you've got this huge area. If you just consider like leads to be like ping pong balls, these people walk around with these tiny little triangles, and there's like a really struggling to catch these. It's like maybe your funnel's not big enough, you giant idiot. Maybe that's the problem. You should probably just go get more leads. Well, Thomas, how do I go do that? We literally have books about it. There's books about where to go and what to do. There's for sale by owners. There's expireds. There's the people you already know that love you and all of the people that they know. There's networking groups that are for free. If you like to play golf, go stand on the golf course with a t-shirt that says, I'm a realtor and I'm poor, please help me. I don't know, there's all sorts of things. Yes.
If it's not an appropriate time to cover, I understand, but what if I don't want to call the people that know me and love me already? I don't want to be an Avon salesman or whatever.
Yeah, McDonald's is hiring. No, that's not the real answer.
I knew your answer to that.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. Whenever I was in Ignite, like a couple of centuries ago, the instructor was talking about like calling the people you know. And I remember sitting there thinking like, wow, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, like no people. My database was like 400 people in Corpus Christi, Texas, which is where I'm from, who were between the ages of 17 and 23. And I was like, yeah, no, that's, what do you call them and say what? Like, hey, how's your mom's basement? Like, I don't know what to say. So, so they were talking about it, and what I noticed is behind me, I sat in the front of the room, behind me were all of the other people in the Ignite class, and they were all going, oh, I can't do that. Oh, no, I can't. No, I don't want to bother the people that I know. Oh, they were just all like him and hawing about how they couldn't do it. And I looked around the room and I realized, oh, this is my competition. And I now know what their weakness is. They're afraid of everything. And I was like, how do I exploit this? I was like, this is my genius brain. I was like, if they're afraid of calling people, then all I have to do is that, and then I'll be better than them. That was the whole plan. It was the whole plan. And by the way, it worked brilliantly. In fact, of that Ignite class, there was only one person who is still in the business of real estate, and it is me. Those other people are, I don't know, dead. So the point is they're gone. So they must not have known their big why. So the point is you should probably just get comfortable calling people that you know, or texting people that you know, or sending video messages to people you know, or knocking on the doors of people that you know, or ambushing them at their places of business or leisure and talking to them. You need to have two-way real estate conversations like every single day, every single work day, right? Preferably have like 10 to 20 of those. It's really easy to do, by the way. Everybody loves to talk about real estate. Everybody does. There's an agent downstairs by the name of Marilyn Newland who consistently closes $8 million a year by like meeting people at the freaking grocery store.
I know her script.
What's her script?
It's a great day to be in real estate.
It's a great script. But you know what?
That's it.
Marilyn looks like a realtor.
She did.
You could not imagine her doing anything else. I see her and I'm just like, oh, you're a realtor, huh?
Yep.
She just has
Class act.
realtor vibes.
Wouldn't you agree, Kay?
Realtor
Yes, I would.
vibes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Marilyn's class act. She's been kind of stuck in her ways. We're working on it. Marilyn was one of those Hotmail email addresses for a while. It's okay. We got to figure it out. God, love her. So the point of all of this is you should, if you're finding like, gosh, you just don't have enough like closings, it's like, yeah, you should probably talk to more people about real estate. That was a great question, by the way, Jess. Did I answer the question?
What did I ask?
You asked, what if I don't want to call people? What if I want to talk to people that I know?
Thank you, great answer.
By the way to talk to people that you know about real estate without it being weird is to offer value. I finally figured out, I was just like, if I'm constantly adding value, nobody could ever be mad at me. There's a company, by the way, called Keller Williams Realty that provides a resource for us called a monthly neighborhood nurture that literally like sets itself up and just does its job. And what it does is it lets them know what's going on in their neighborhood and lets them know, yeah,
Will you be sharing your script today for your Mets?
I'm going to share all sorts of scripts.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's really good because we're going to read the scripts and then I'm going to criticize them. So you would expect no less. So I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Does anybody remember?
Monthly neighborhood nurture.
Monthly neighborhood nurture. Okay, so what's great is that provides the value, and then all you have to do is call and say, "Hey, did you get my email?" That's, by the way, my script for like everything is like, "Hey, did you get the value piece that I sent you?" "Hey, it's Thomas from Keller Williams. Did you get the thing I sent you?" And they're like, "What?" I was like, "The email. Did you see it? Are you in front of your computer? Get your phone. Can you go look for it? I just want to make sure you got it." "Okay, you did get it. Look at it. All right, what do you think?" That's the script. They're just like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of information here." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I sent it to you." So that's the really hard script to learn.
So if your sphere was in Corpus, mine's in California, I got a whopping 2 people on my database.
Yeah.
Great question.
So
I can send value to them until the cows come home, but it doesn't matter.
well, this
They're all moving here anyway.
Oh, well, so that's gonna be like
No,
next
they're
week.
not. Yeah, never mind.
Let's back.
I tried, they're gone.
What about the people they know? I'm just sitting here like the number one thing on the migration map is people moving from California to Texas.
I've
But
been trying to
also
figure
your
out how to
referral
get people that are
business.
moving from California.
Sadly, not people.
Not people in your database.
That's-
Yeah.
you know,
So-
I
so-
would still build a database. You still build a database. I have a huge one in Connecticut. It's helped me build my downline. I'm not, as team leader, I'm not allowed to sell real estate or commission, but I can refer. I refer a lot to, I have a couple agents in Connecticut. I do it all through command. Don't sneeze at it. Your database is, I do no work for that
So-
too. I
Yeah, then
just
you
do
make
referral.
25-30% by making a phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me give you the other answer. Because I didn't have a database, I had to build one from scratch, and I built it full of for sale by owners.
Thank you.
That's what I did.
We'll
Um,
teach different ways.
If I don't know anybody, I just gotta go and get to know people. Those are the people I chose to get to know.
What did Rebecca do? Rebecca Douglas, because she's not from this area
I'll tell
and
you.
she's doing phenomenal. What did she do?
I'll tell you. So she is from this area originally, and so at like Louisville and this whole area. And she left and came back, but all she did was talk to people, her husband has kids, and every time she talked to somebody, she added them to a database and put them on a 36 touch and actually followed it.
Yeah.
There's client events in that 36 touch. She'll tell you all about it. There's quarterly calls. She just does the work. And she's on track to close 30 deals this year.
Yeah, so a 36 touch is that's one of the most valuable resources. It took me 3 years to learn it because I'm an idiot. And it works really, really, really enormously, unbelievably well.
What is that, just a drip campaign?
It's a drip campaign. It's literally automated. There are tasks within it. There's mailers, there's text messages, there's emails, and there's calls set up in there where it prompts you when to call. If you follow that formula, you're going to do business, right? So what is the conversion rate on? So it's a 12-2 on your Met contacts that are in a 36 touch. I understand I'm speaking Kellerisms right now and you don't know. I'm going to explain it in a second. Hold on. And it's a 50-1 conversion ratio on your not Mets that are on 12 direct. Everybody got that? All right, next. No, I'm just kidding. So what's really, really cool about that, and I taught this in our office meeting the other day. So go to the office meetings, there's value there. So I taught this in the office meeting the other day. Everyone in the world, you could put into your database and they fall into one of 2 categories, okay? They're either Mets or they're not Mets, right? So you can imagine the people that are on the Mets side are people that you have met. People that are on the not met side of your database are the people that you have not met, okay? So people that you have met belong on a drip campaign called a 36 touch. That means you're going to touch them 3 times a month, 36 times a year. Okay. There are some theories that you should go to 54 times a month. What I find is that my 36 touch is extremely effective. And it's because every single one of my 36 touches adds value. People want to be on it. People want to hear from me 3 times a month. And you're like, I'm going to bother them. Not if you're giving value. You're not. So 36. So that having people on that campaign has a conversion ratio of 12 to 2. I know what you're thinking, Thomas, you're not very good at math. You can reduce that fraction to 6 to 1. There's a reason it's 12 to 2, and that is that of every 12 people that are in that database receiving that 36 touch, 1 person will refer business to you, and 1 person will do business with you. Okay, that's the 2. They're different, which is why it's 12 to 2, not 6 to 1. Now let's just say that you've got a database full of people you have not met. Those people need to be touched once a month. That's called 12 direct. Okay. You could literally go over to Fuzzy's next door. They've got a bulletin board with a bunch of business cards on it. Just start yanking business cards off of the wall. They've all got contact information on them. Put that into your database. 50 of those equals 1 transaction within a year. Okay, so if you want to do a business based on people you've not met, awesome. You just got to put more data into your database. Start dripping on more people. 50 to 1. So how many? You want to do 17 transactions? Well, 17 times 50, which is, here it comes, 850. So you have to have 850.
You weren't a math guy.
Yeah, I know. I nailed it. 850 people in your database would lead to 17 transactions if they were on 12 direct. If that wasn't a mastery class in lead generation, I don't know what is. Go home. So, okay, page 30, calling every session. Again, we are going to call in this class. I'm not going to stand behind you and make you do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You're a business owner. I'm not making you do anything. My suggestion is that you make the calls, and I think the people in this class that are making the calls are probably going to. I remember whenever I took Bold the first time, and like I was so nervous because I was in a room full of like mega agents who were like calling the hardest for sale by owner in all of Frisco and converting them. And I was just like, I'm gonna call my mom. And so that's what I did. I called my mom. Okay, so if you have to call your mom just to get warmed up, that's cool. Call her. If you need to call back some of the telemarketers that have been calling you and go, yeah, you know what, I am interested in that product. By the way, are you looking to sell a house? Then you do that. Like I would love for you to be calling the Realtor.com reps and going, so yeah, where do you live? And are you looking to sell? That would be awesome. Like do that. Like do that. That's amazing. And do it. And that's great. And then put them in your database. Put them on a 36 touch. At that point, you've met them. This is a brilliant class.
By the way, that has been done to me once in calling real estate agents.
Yeah.
That has been done to me one time. Actually, Jesse, I would like to talk to you. And it was the most entertaining conversation I think I've had in all of my lead generation time. So
They're going to respect you. They're going to respect the hustle.
yeah.
Every time I'm contacted by a salesperson nowadays, I'm just like, that's a pretty good drip campaign.
Yeah.
Like, what CRM are you using? I ask questions, and they're just like, we're using Follow-Up Boss. Why are you asking? Like, what else have we do? Okay, 4 Powerful Habits. This book has mentioned it 13,000 freaking times, so of course we just have to read it again. Grow and manage your database. So the goal is to add 10 new contacts in your contact database every single day. So that is a person that was not in your database that is now in there. A contact is someone who has a first and last name and a phone number or an email. Okay, we have to know who they are. We have to know how to contact them. That is a contact. Okay. Prospects. Speak with 10 people in your database every day. I'm going to add on to that. It has to be a 2-way conversation. Okay, y'all remember the entrepreneurial thing I went after with the text message? Okay, I wasn't making 400 contacts per day. Okay, it was only the people that responded that counted. Okay, it's got to be a 2-way conversation. If you're going out and just standing in the middle of Walmart and screaming like, I'm a real estate agent and stuff like that, you didn't get 100 contacts just then. Like, that's not what happened. You just look like an idiot. But if you went to Walmart and talked to every single person, well, now you have 100 contacts. Okay. It has to be a 2-way conversation, even if it's like, I'm in real estate. They're like, good for you. That counts. That's great. But it has to be a 2-way conversation. So the reason I bring that up is because, again, this text was written in 1997. It wasn't. It was written in like 2004. But it's going to be a lot about calls calling is very effective. I love it. You should do it. And if you have to text someone, Facebook message someone, Instagram message somebody, LinkedIn message somebody, send a video message to somebody, Marco Polo somebody, have a face-to-face conversation, which is weird, with somebody, that's great. It has to be a two-way conversation, meaning they have to respond to you. And it can't be, what? It has to be like in relation to real estate, okay? Everybody understand what the definition of a contact is? Yeah, you got it? All right. Follow up. Write 10 notes to people you know or have recently connected with every day. So there's a great, I'm going to give a new recommended reading. Are you ready? And I'm only halfway through this book, but I can already tell you it's like one of the best books I've ever written. It's called Guerrilla Marketing. Not Gorilla, Gorilla. That would be weird. It is. Guerrilla marketing. Okay, so guerrilla marketing. That book was actually written in 2009, I think, and has recently been updated to modern standards. The audiobook is up to date. So guerrilla marketing. Guerrilla marketing talks about the value of offline and online communications and switching back and forth. So it talks about, I'm just summarizing, as a small business owner, you have the ability to really leverage these resources more powerfully than your major competitors, like Zillow has to do. Zillow is all online communication. It's all on television communication. They don't experience Zillow anywhere in the real world. Zillow has never been in anyone's house, right? You have the ability to send mailers. You have the ability to write personal note cards in your own hand with your own ink and write their address on the envelope and put a stamp on it. You have the ability to do those things. You have the ability to talk to them on the telephone. You have the ability to send them a text message. You have the ability to do all of those things online and offline, switch back and forth. That is where we capture leads in modern day times. That's how you do it. If you're using one form of media, you're doing it wrong. Okay, so guerrilla marketing. Write 10 notes. You do have to follow up. I've got somebody on my team who is a killer freaking lead generator. He's a killer lead generator, and he sucks at follow-up. And I was just like, you're mine, because I am the follow-up king. So it's very likely that if you're awesome at like nurturing people, you probably suck at lead generating. And if you're really awesome at lead generating, you probably suck at follow-up. Most people are good at one or the other. You really do kind of have to master both. So call the new contacts, call the FISBO, yeah, and also follow up with them. Okay.
It's okay if you equally suck at it too. We love those.
Yeah,
we love those.
those are great.
We're the fastest.
Those are perfect.
Love those.
Yeah. So this last one, preview 10 homes for sale every day and visit 10 in person every week. I don't know what market this was written on, but no. Okay. Previewing houses is you always have a great word for it.
What?
Okay, so it's your, what is it, your local knowledge? I can't remember what.
You're market expert, local expert.
Yeah. So previewing houses, so here's the whole point of previewing houses. It's not so that you know how to enter a house. It's not so that you know what houses are. Most of you have probably lived in one or two. The point of it is there's a little section in the back of your brain called the reticular activating system, okay? And so let's say you go in and you preview a house with a pool. And then 2 days later, you're sitting at Chili's and you hear at the next booth someone like, oh gosh, I'm just really looking for a house with a pool. You can go, I know about a house with a pool. It's called your reticular, right? You usually wouldn't have noticed that conversation, okay? But because you've seen a pool recently and it's important to you, your reticular activating system tells you what to focus on. And so you'll hone in on those conversations, go, oh, I know how to help you, right? It'll also work with real estate. Anytime someone says the word house, even if they're talking about the CBS show, your brain will go. You'll hear people across a crowded room. It's fascinating. So I can't hear very well, but if you were on the other side of Home Depot and say, looking to sell my house, I will sprint in that direction. It's echolocation. I know where to go. So I'm just like, I noticed you're by the for sale by owner signs. What an idiot. So that's my script. So preview 10 homes. Not in this market. If you displace my seller to preview my listing, I'm gonna key your car. But you can go on MLS and search by vacant listings, okay? And vacant listings, you're not bothering anybody by going and previewing that house. So go and preview that house. Or just get really good at tabbing through the photos online, okay? And I'm not gonna make you preview 10 houses. I'm not going to do that. Preview some houses, go do that. Vacant listings are awesome because you're not displacing anybody. And if, let's say there's something that's in contracts and it's vacant and you schedule a showing and the agent calls you, it's like, what are you doing? Just be like, I'm a new agent, I'm previewing houses. Is that cool? I'm just gonna go and look at it. And most agents will go, oh, okay.
Can I tell a story about the purpose of this?
Please.
It really is, it's genuinely
Yeah.
the market expert. Jason Abrams, the vice president of industry of our company, his boss is Gary Keller. He says that if we are not sharing local neighborhood market information on a daily basis, we're simply not doing our jobs. And so I like this example, this story. We're not previewing homes anymore. However, think of brand new day one Suzu Realtor and going to preview her 10 homes so she can fill out her, this is 1995, so she can fill out her daily 10-4. And she went to preview, I don't know how many homes you're supposed to preview, 10 a week.
Yeah.
So she goes to previews for 10, but she's using her app, she's opening the door, she's walking through, she's looking at different things in the house, she's wondering what she would say, she has her information with her, she's guessing about she's wondering about the things that a client would actually ask her, what they're gonna talk about at Ignite, and she does that 10 times this week. And then you do that a couple times, and then in 3 weeks, she's at the neighborhood barbecue. And she's like, oh yeah, the Joseph's house just sold for, it was 104 square foot. It's last weekend, it was sold for 114 square foot. I wonder what's going on. Do you have an understanding of what the market is doing for your equity? And then in 3 weeks, she is an expert realtor, or at least she sounds like one. And it's from previewing homes. That's the point of it. So we have better updated ways to do that now.
Can I add another purposeful reason for previewing homes? There is an agent, I cannot remember her name, but I believe she is from Pennsylvania, and which I know you're not familiar with. She was a new agent, and what she decided is that she was going to dominate social media, and she was a perfect bombshell. She was beautiful. That was definitely what she needed to do.
Yeah.
And what she would do is she would get on Instagram Live, and she would go in and she would say, today I'm showing this beautiful home at 123 Main Street. She would just walk through the house and she'd wave in the little mirror in the bathroom and she would just show the house. And she built this following of people and she used the right hash browns. And she found all these people that were just like, you're doing amazing in real estate. I see you showing all these bougie houses. This looks great. Oh my God, she just previewing. But she built this whole following of people that thought that she was killing it. And so eventually what
People
happened,
like to look at pretty stuff.
there's another bold law. It's be do have. It's one of my favorite ones. It's over there kind of between Kay and Brittany. It says be do have. And what that is be the professional you want to be, and then you will do what they do, and then you'll have what they have. So just go and be the expert. Go preview the house. Be like, look at this great house I'm showing you. Go show the $800,000 house in Corinth Haven or whatever. Whatever you want to, just go do it. That's great. Go show it. You don't have to tell anybody that it's not my listing and I'm not really showing a buyer. I'm previewing it. Just go and say, hey, look at this great house I'm showing today. Who are you showing? I'm showing you on social media.
Do it in a model.
Just go.
Do it in a model too.
Yeah,
Really
do it
pretty.
model. It's already staged. I stage a lot of my vacant listings. Go. I don't care. Go do it. Spend a lot of money on that staging. Go do it. So for time's sake, we're going to skip ahead to some scripts. We're skipping the page that says scripts are cool. Jesse, I know you'll be excited about that. We're going to go to page 43. We're actually going to read through some of these scripts, and then I'm going to offer you some levity. Okay. Does anyone want to volunteer to read the New to Real Estate script, which is the first one on page 40? If you don't volunteer, then I have to do it. And you're
I'll
not
read
gonna
it.
enjoy that. Okay, go for it.
Hello, this is Betty. Do you have a moment? I'd like to share the exciting news that I've become a real estate agent at Keller Williams Realty. With this new partnership, I have all the knowledge working for me. It's a weird sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work. I thought about sharing this with you because I knew you would be someone who would help me grow my business.
Uh-huh. So that sounds like supernatural, right? Yeah. Do we know, are these Diana Kokoska scripts? Do we know?
Mostly. Yeah.
Mostly. Okay. I know what everyone's thinking and I'm going to get there. Don't you worry. I'm going to get there. But first, does anybody want to volunteer and read number 2, which is the New to Keller Williams script?
Yeah, got it.
Go for it.
Hello, this is Gabrielle. Do you have a moment?
I'd like to share some exciting news with you. Usually I'm the one helping people make a move. This time I'm the one who moved. I moved my real estate business over to Keller Williams Realty. And just because my company name has changed, the level of service I offer to clients hasn't. My clients will continue to get all of my enthusiasm and hard work. And as you already know, I will do whatever it takes to help people. May I count on you to help me grow my business?
So natural. Oh, God. Thank you. Number 3. Anybody? Come on, somebody, read number 3. Make it natural.
Okay.
Go for it.
Hello, this is Stephanie. Do you have a moment? It's been a while. I apologize for not staying in touch. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share with you that I have a personal goal to help 25 families get into the home of their dreams this year. As you already know, I'll do whatever it takes to help people. May I count on you to help me reach my goal?
Awesome. Final one, then we can get to the fun stuff. Number 4. Anybody?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Hello, this is Jake. Do you have a moment? I'd like to share some exciting news with you. I've moved to Denton, and I'm with Keller Williams Realty. I thought about connecting with you because I knew you would be someone to help me get my business going in Denton. Can I count on you?
Perfect. Okay. So before I get into this, I do want to ask for some feedback from the group. This is important. This is like market research. We have to know. What do you think about these?
Sounds like you're trying to get political donations.
Awesome. Why? Why? I mean, why? What? Tell me why you're saying that.
Can I count on you?
Mm-hmm.
Can the
Sales
police union count on your donation to keep
Uh-huh.
the chair?
Yeah. Jesse.
I'm a very good script and role play partner because I won't BS you. I'm a very, very good script and role play partner. I would not have gotten past your first few words.
No.
That's right.
I would have hung up.
So,
Not your first few words.
we're doing Super Ignite. We're doing Super Ignite. Okay. I'm not good. I think Jesse just confirmed it for you. We as the leadership of this market center are not going to BS you into thinking that like, this is the script. You have to do it like this. You have to do it like this. This is the right look. Trust the models. Okay. You sound like an idiot. Okay. I get it. I do. I'm with you. Can you think of a reason why we have to write these scripts? Can you think of a reason why this has to happen?
Because some people have a over amount of nerves on their systems.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that come to us and they go, I just don't know what to say. And so we go, here's what to say. And they go, that sounds stupid. And we go, so you do know what to say. That's weird. Okay, so can we think of any ways to make that? Let's just start with the first one, the new to real estate. Can we think of any ways to make that sound like more natural? Anybody? Can you think of a way to make this sound more natural?
First ask what they've been up to lately, and then when they ask you, what have you been up to lately?
Yeah.
Then it's obvious.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know where I heard this script, but this has maybe been rewritten since I took this class, but the script was, hi, this is Thomas, and I would like to have a business conversation. That was the script. And I was like,
No.
like, no, like no one has those phones you hang up anymore, but I can hear it hanging up. No. The way that I would have this this conversation is, hey, how's it going? Good. I haven't talked to you for a minute. Hey, I just want to have a quick conversation with you because I'm in the business of real estate now. I'm with the #1 real estate company on the face of the planet. It's called Keller Williams Realty. You ever heard of them? You're about to. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you have an app on your phone called Zillow? Do me a favor. If you love me, delete it. Okay? If you love me, delete it. Okay? I'm going to send you a better one. Okay? I'm texting it to you right now. What's your phone number? You're calling me.
You're calling.
So,
I'm just texting you my phone number right now.
seriously. So, cool. Let me have your email too, just in case. And it's like, okay. I'm going to send you that. Download that, and I really want your honest feedback on it. Okay? We're literally like, we spent trillions of dollars on this to take down like the people that are trying to do bad stuff in real estate. So can you just give me your honest feedback? It's really gonna help us out. So what I've done there is I've asked them what's going on with them. I've told them what's going on with me. I've given them something of value, and I've asked them for their opinion. That person's gonna love that phone call.
Okay, stop. Break script.
Okay.
If you get nothing else, get that.
Yeah.
Tom, this was actually much more valuable than the script I was asking you for, which is the one that you do for your Mets, which is, hey, what is it? Hey, been thinking about you. How are you?
Oh, yeah. So I do an exercise called the DTD2. It's called the Do Database Do. We'll get there where that's mastery, but that's super nice. So, and basically that is where I call 2 first name letters out of my database every day. So I'll do an A and W, and then I'll do the B and E. So what I do is I call them, I follow communication preferences, right? If they like to call, I'll call them. If they like to text, I'll text them. If they like to Facebook message, I'll Facebook message them. No matter, I just follow communication preferences. And I'll say, hey, I was driving through River Oaks the other day and I thought about you. How are things going? That's the script.
100% of the time it works because 100% of the time it engages them in conversation. No one hangs up on him. No one hangs up on him. No one's angry that he called, texted, Facebook messaged. No one is mad at him ever.
And 100% of people, their response is, how are things going with you? I see you're killing it in real estate. Every single time. It's easy to have a two-way real estate conversation. They brought it up. I was like, well, I wasn't going to talk about myself, but since you brought it up. So, and then you just, that's what you do.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, the market's crazy. Denton's up 38%.
We'll show you how to do the how behind all of it too. But this really is the big picture. If you get nothing else, get that. And if you are one of the people that got into the business because you really love showing houses, you like pretty houses, and you love to help people, if you get nothing else, get that. This is how you get to do it.
Okay. The time has come. You guys know where I'm going with this?
No.
Oh, you really don't? Oh God, man, I've really led them into the trap, and I'm just gonna drop it on you. It's time to do it. So now you guys know. So hopefully you brought a list with you to call, or you can call your mom. You want to call my mom? 361-56. No, I'm just kidding. She's probably at work, but she works inside of a bomb shelter, and that's not even a joke. It's not a joke. She works at Shell, and Shell might blow up at any moment, and so she's inside of a bomb shelter all day. She has no signal. It's true. If I need to get in contact with my mom, it's just like letter. It's probably the best method. So yeah, here's the thing. So call. I would love for you to call 3 to 5 people. Okay, call them. People that you know. You don't have to use these scripts, but just use what we talked about. Hey, I'm in real estate now. Thought you'd want to know. Got a great app. Send the app. If you're not going to send the app, that's awesome. I don't care. I just need the person on the other end of the phone to know that you're in real estate and know that they and their contacts can depend on you if ever they have real estate questions or needs. That's it. I don't care what you say. I really don't. And it doesn't matter. Okay. So it's time. I'm going to do that. So okay, we're going to do that for the next 15 minutes. So let's do from 11:23 to 11:38. So return here at 11:38, and we'll report out some of our results. You can disperse. You can go and hide in that room. You can go and hide in the elevator. You can go and hide in the conference room. You can go hide in the car. I'm not making you make these calls, but you should make your calls. Okay.
So I have a question.
Sure.
On my whole 2 contacts that I have lived in this area, they have already told me that they would prefer to do most of the communication via text and Facebook. And I know they're both at work right now.
Yeah.
So do I just text them the information and text them the app?
You can follow communication preferences. Just remember that it doesn't count unless it's two-way. So hopefully there's one.
Okay, my other one's all letting me know. This is what old.
Time to call a FISBO. That's what I heard. Woo!
Just a quick phone call.
Very large bucks. Distractingly large.
I love that.
Okay. And so we're going to change this.
Yes, I would not say that.
All right. So name. What's your last name, Taylor?
Sure is.
Who are you?
Bobby.
Okay. So it's literally, so you're calling me Jesse. All right, actually, we're calling Thomas. There you go. Thomas, Lane Taylor, Keller Williams, how are you? just quick call on behalf of our CEO, Ms. Coach Jensen, for essential regarding that. My Disney experience has I wrote this Alexis Rose style.
I love that,
Okay.
which is how I talk anyway.
Okay,
So,
good. It'll be
great.
perfect. And and this is like breakdown. So nice. She'd love to work with you.
Remember we talked
She
about
actually has an offer letter to present to you and wants to see when you'd be available for a consult. So take a look at it. She's got blank available what might work for you.
No, the one you haven't.
That's it. All right.
On Carol.
So when I do it,
Carol Boulevard.
I was doing it for me.
Remember yet?
How did I do it? Okay. Here, practice with me one time. Who are you?
I'm Jesse.
I'm, where are
You're an agent.
I'm an agent.
Yeah, I want to help you. I can help you sell it.
Hey, Jesse, come on.
How are you? Your hands. I know it's struggle.
Good. Hey, so really quick,
because
honestly,
it is
just
a lot
looking
of
for your
work.
production, you just hit a mark. I'll find out what that is. There's a mark. All right. You just hit a mark.
Yeah, I
So you're
did.
in my bucket, and congrats.
Thanks.
Okay, so far you're a great role type.
I mean, I can definitely, you know, good job.
So
Take some more.
Lane, I'll be honest, there's a chance I'd love to work with you, and I'd like to offer you the free, give me 30 minutes, needs analysis of your business. It looks like you're working with mostly buyers right now, and so if you're in my bucket, I can offer you some business coaching and training. What do you think for coffees?
I'm pretty busy right now. I'm happy where I am.
Oh, good, good, love having people, let's do a mastermind, because again, you are a little fire heavy, and we took just over 150 listings last month, and I'd love to share some of those strategies with you. Let's just get a coffee anyway.
If you plan to have it ready.
Or do you eat in the middle of the day?
I like coffee. Coffee's fine.
Okay, cool.
Let's get caffeinated.
We're working on the floor.
Right. Got it, that's what I do. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the list, I emailed it to you. Do you want here, do you want like a brand new year person to practice on?
Yeah.
Like a brand new year person to
I
practice on,
mean,
like?
we can, I think we could define, you know, also coming
Or do you want
soon,
to jump right in?
and we can put it on the MLS.
Just jump right in.
Okay.
Turn it for transaction people.
People will definitely be start like start calling right away.
Don't call the Keller
It
Williams
is them
people.
and really not.
It just doesn't take them out when I ask for them.
So that,
Jamie, this, I know what Jamie.
I'm sorry?
It's a guy or girl. These are different because this is.
Hey, Michael, this is Thomas.
An area or in our territory, opposed outside our territory, sometimes they're the same, sometimes this is more, but that's just how many they first. In case you need that conversation.
Yeah, it looks like
And
Keller
then
offered
this
to
is
have some
our-
the photos on that property, which is frustrating. But yeah, I did try to include those on the offer request form, so
you know,
we'll figure out
there
what
you
that
the
way
answers
you will
to.
have a better idea of
Okay,
what
easy.
the amount of money that you need.
File, share, you have it.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I can go back again and try to get some new updated.
Yeah, we have a certificate
You,
of seller disclosure.
if you are on that list, I will call, I'll do my follow-ups.
On the
Okay.
kitchen
Time are we coming back here?
I don't know, 38, I think we have like.
Oh, I've got 10 minutes.
I'll get them called.
Okay.
This is just one of her.
I have a bunch of
I'll make sure you don't go to those.
whenever it's
Okay,
ready,
I'll send it over.
you can have.
Send somebody an app,
People already know that it's.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Send it to them and then she'll have it.
Yep, that's exactly right. It's branded to you too, so that way she just clicks on it and she gets in. Okay. I hope too. Good job.
So that's your main goal is to finish it up and,
Me?
yeah.
I'm talking to myself.
Okay.
I'm just talking to Stephanie, I'm kidding.
Maybe in a month.
I need to grab a different list because I gave Lane my list.
The progress on your project is going and.
Back everybody that's called me while I was teaching this class.
Okay, good.
All right, well, thank you. Have a nice day.
Ooh, let me mark a lane. Oh, Sunday. Hey, I'm gonna I'm gonna call all the leads that came in over the weekend. For career night, I mean. Contacts.
Thank you.
It's like he's here.
We love Marco Polo.
Oh.
I got Lance's mom on Marco Polo last night. It's dangerous.
Oh wait, shoot, I need to know what career night is. No, forward.
So Chris. Good on you.
Hello, Joe. What's up?
Yeah. Whatever it takes.
Career night.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, man. I mean, I put everything that I had on. Send you the,
Oh, great.
like the information, the powers and all that. I just sent it to you in an email.
Dude, when's career night?
If I would have came from the office.
I have Sassline.
Thank you on my list.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, the next section, which I think is going to be the last section, we're going to talk about the ideal calendar. And so it's got some examples that I think are stupid. So I'm just going to show this.
Okay, great.
Great.
I think you're on.
I need to know when happy hour is in order to. Oh, it's gotta be in that.
Check your spam folder. Sometimes you go there and it's not sort of see that. You go there the first time you want to shoot like reply.
Getting yourself set up to do this is like, it is hard work. Making myself feel better. Let me call
It was yesterday that I figured it out.
you. Events. Aha. July 22nd.
I'm trying to set it up, man. I should be out there somewhere around 4 o'clock, but, yeah, it's giving me a real hard time. It's a little tiny, and it's occupied with tenants, so I'm trying to work on that situation too. I'm gonna keep, we can have it delivered vacant and whatnot.
Hey Manny, it's Jessie from Keller Williams Realty. How are you? I'm good. I wanted to let you know I did see that you clicked on our event for the 100K happy hour. I can hang tight. Go ahead, Manny. You're good.
That have either sold or active, in the last 9 days. And they're kind of all over the board, you know. Some are like as high as like, let's say, 550 or something of that nature. There's one on the same street that sold for 180. There was a one bedroom. So I would just say that it'd be in the 200s based on that.
I can't. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm glad you're back. No, I just saw that you clicked on our invite for career night, and I just wanted to connect with you. I'm the CEO and team leader and business coach of the office, and I look forward to meeting you on the 22nd. Any questions you have ahead of time? This is my personal cell phone. Again, this is Jessie. Call me, text me if you need anything, but we'll just look forward to meeting you on the 22nd. Yeah, why not? Well, so let me ask you, Manny, you clicked on our ad. What is it that you do now? Are you in real estate already? What are you in? What business are you in? Oh, no kidding. Okay, so that's kind of tough right now. Wow. Wow, you've probably thought about real estate before.
No kidding. Oh, wow. So, well, it's honestly, it's a great time. It's the best time. And it seems like there's a lot of realtors popping up, but gosh, after COVID, we had a lot of people reconsider what it was that they wanted to do, and there's new opportunities. So, what we like to do on career night, and I'm happy to meet you before then too. No. But we basically go through like what exactly it is, you know, that you want to accomplish, and we go over the specific models and resources that we help people with every day. We're actually teaching a class right now, our proprietary course called Ignite, which is to get our real estate businesses started. We do that about every other month or every quarter. And so I'm going to jump back to that soon. Mandy, is the 22nd too far out, or would you like to stop in and get a coffee with me for 15, 20 minutes before then? So I called on a good day. On the 22nd, it's later. On the 22nd, it is, let's see, let me go back here. We start that actually at 5:30. Would that be all right for you? You want to meet me on a Tuesday?
But I'm gonna just take as many pictures as I can and do as much information. Maybe we will be able to read.
Okay, so the following Tuesday would be the 20th.
Yeah.
And then the 26th, the 20th would work for me. Yeah, what time?
All right, thanks. Bye.
Tuesday the 20th. Yeah, what's convenient for me on Tuesday the 20th is 10:30. Okay, so is the best email address for you, Manny? Is it mannymex@live.com? All right, I got you. Well, good deal. I'm excited to meet you. I'm going to send you two things now. I'm going to email you a calendar invite that's going to have my address, the office address, and everything in it. The second thing I'm going to send you is a super fun business personality assessment. It'll help you and I communicate at the highest level. And but you can't start it and stop it though. You got to start it all at once and go all the way through. Otherwise, it'll get all screwed up. Manny, I enjoyed talking to you. I'm glad we took this time to follow up. I lucked out. It's a Tuesday, and I'll see you Tuesday the 20th at 10:30. Okay. My name is Jessie Newquist. I'm the CEO, business coach, and team leader, Keller Williams Realty. Okay, appreciate it, Manny. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye. That was very lucky. That doesn't happen often.
I heard an appointment get set.
It did. I called the leads that came in over the weekend from Career Night. You are going to love him. He's in car sales.
Manny?
Mm-hmm.
I do love Manny's.
I'm going to log that as call appointment set.
Okay, I've got 22 minutes to cover 3 more topics. It's 11:38. Come back. Come back.
Everyone.
Okay, we're gonna get back into it. Let's share some successes. Let's share some ahas. Let's just do some sharing. Let's do some it's a family sharing moment. Jessie, you can share.
I have an aha.
What's your aha?
I put my ahas in rectangles off to the right.
Yeah.
And this one says, "Oh, what's at stake if you don't?"
Yes.
It's I thought that was a really powerful thing that you said. See, I learn something every time I come to Ignite. And I wished you would have sat with it more and let me think about it because you know how much I love thinking. But man, it's okay to have, what I got from that is that it's okay to have negative motivation. In fact, it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
What drives you is what drives you. And some days you're going to be running to something and some days you're going to be running from something, but it's okay. That was permission for me, so thank you.
Yeah, I think it's about what compels you. What I learned a few years ago is that willpower is not on will call. And so sometimes when you have the willpower, you just have the thought, like what compels you. A lot of people are compelled by the vision. I'm compelled by the what if I don't? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm wired that way. I just am. I'm wired to avoid pain. Well, wait, that's everyone. That's what the reticular activating system is. You have a whole mastery class on that.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else insights to share?
I got one person download the app.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
That's like great because now
Added by 2 contacts.
every time that they log into that app. Every time they start looking at houses, you will be notified on the other side on command. So that's great. That's called voyeurism. Now we know when they're interested. It is. That's what it's called.
Very powerful.
What it's called. Or erase this. Any other insights from the calls you made today?
So I got a follow-up. It's not a no, it's a.
Yeah.
Actually, I've never met this person, but he used to be the landlord for a family member. And he is working on a house, and the thing is that he doesn't know anything about real estate. He's just fixing the house, and so apparently, he's like, he wants more options. He wants to finish the house.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Congrats.
Can I help you? What do you think would be an awesome follow-up piece for somebody like that? What would be of most value to him? Anybody can answer.
Great question.
Yes. Probably numbers.
Yes.
It's probably numbers. The answer is yes. So do you know what house he's working on?
Yes.
So you know the address?
Yes.
So you know the value.
Yes.
Does he know the value?
No.
Perfect. You should follow up with that. Hey,
You
here's
got
the
a
number.
killer lead generator there,
Yep.
Joe.
Oh yeah. Here's the numbers on the house we were talking about. That's the follow-up. That's the follow-up. That's amazing. That's awesome. Okay. Thank you all for participating in that. That's awesome.
That was fun.
All you have to do is that every day. It doesn't kill you. It's fine. Okay. So the next few pages of this book talk about your ideal calendar. And so we're going to talk about our ideal calendar. I'm going to criticize the one that's in the book. And then we're going to talk about protecting your time. Okay. So the ideal calendar that it has in the book are, I would jump off of a bridge. I would. My one thing that I value more than anything else in this world is freedom. And if you threaten to take away my freedom, I'm going to resist you to the highest possible levels. Okay. So there's a word that used to trigger me here at Keller Williams that people used all the time. They used this word, and every time they said it, I went, no. And the word was discipline. They would say, you need to have a disciplined schedule. You need to have a disciplined calendar. And I was like, no, discipline does not equal freedom. Guess what the brain blast was? Yes, it does. If you don't define your time, someone else will. So what I learned about that was that you do have to be disciplined at specific times that you define. Okay, so I'm really freaking disciplined between the hours of 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. every single day. I am purposeful during those times. I have an objective, and as soon as I complete my objective, I'm free. I get to earn my freedom every single day, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So I am now free because, but before that, just keep in mind I wasn't. Before that, I was at everyone else's disposal, right? Julian, who walked in here a second ago, who is also my spouse, was like, my car needs an oil change. And I'd be like, okay. My seller would call me and be like, can we see a house at 1 p.m.? And I'd be like, yeah, I don't have everything on my calendar, so I guess. And so when I realized, it's like, oh, this isn't freedom. This is working on other people's schedule. No. So this is what's called my ideal schedule. Never do any of my weeks end up like this, okay? But I get to choose what interrupts my schedule. And I have the perfect excuse for whenever I don't want to do things. Hey, Thomas, can you teach a class on something stupid that I don't want to teach? And I go, ooh, I actually have client care in DTD2 today at 1, so I can't. I'm so sorry. My calendar, as you can see, is booked fully. My calendar from 9 a.m. to noon every day is listing critiques and CMAs. And then I defend my lunch from 12 to 1. I don't have to eat, but I get that flex time. That's why it says lunch or flex time. I do my client care and DTD2 from 1 to 2, and then from 2 to 5, I do appointments and chunks. Every day. That's the schedule, and that's what it looks like. And I had to pay my third quarter MLS last week, which I did. And I had a listing appointment at 813 Gregory. which is in contract today. So like I get to choose, if this person, I get to go on this listing appointment. I choose to let that interrupt my lead gen time. So that's what ideal schedules should look like. You get to define it. So what I know you will eventually do in coaching beyond this is bring your ideal calendar, and it'll change like all the time. It'll change. You'll eventually figure out what it is. It took me a long time to get to this one. Yeah.
Hi, C's. I know I attract a lot of y'all. That's how it's supposed to be done. That's how it's supposed to be done. So see the green block on the bottom, the 2 to 5 appointments. A lot of other examples will show you appointment at 1:30, appointment at 3, appointment at 4:30. Well, what if your listing appointment takes 2 hours? Hi, C's. I'm talking to y'all. It's just blocked off in one big block for appointments. You'll know based off of your goals how many that is going to be.
Yeah, the C's are sitting there like, well, what if it's going to take me 41 minutes to get from, like one of my appointments was here, but then there, and I have to account for traffic. It's just like, yeah, this is just the appointment time.
Yeah, by the way, that type of thinking, C's, is your superpower, and I love you. I know what you do.
Whenever I was killing it with For Sale by Owners, and I was doing like 3 FSBO appointments per day, what was happening is I would build rapport with the FSBO, and it would take me 2 hours to sit in that appointment. And I knew I had an appointment afterwards, and I knew I was going to be late to it. And so you know what I did? Here was my script. I called the FSBO, and I was like, hey, I know I was supposed to be there at 5. I'm actually going to be a little late. I'm going to be 30 minutes late, 5:30. You want anything from Starbucks? And they would go, what? Maybe. You can be like, yeah. Okay. So you offer value. That was my script. My script. Go get him a drink. So we'll teach the $20 bill trick at some point too. That'll be super fun. We're gonna make you very, very impoverished. Okay, so let's go to page 57. This is where we get to talk about accountability. Who likes to be held accountable?
Liars.
Yeah, you're all lying. Nobody likes to be held accountable. That's not true. It's not true. Nobody likes that.
Being accountable and turning in homework is not the same.
That's true. That's true. No one likes to be held accountable. Nobody does. Everybody wants to be trusted to do their stuff, and I hope you can be trusted, but I don't know. I don't know. And so I would love for everybody in this room who's enrolled in this program to find an accountability partner. Okay. I told you my story earlier about the accountability partner that I found who accidentally gave me some limiting beliefs. Okay. So be choosy. And the way I would approach those people is I would just say, hey, I literally just got into an intense freaking program to grow my business, like, and it's gonna require like some major effort. Can I ask you if you would help me stay accountable to whatever your goals are, right? This many contacts, well, I mean, it's 10 contacts per day. Having 10 contacts per day, having 10 two-way real estate conversations every day. What can you call me accountable to do? And if that person says yes, congratulations, you have an accountability. You don't have to tell me who it is. You don't have to tell me who it is. I don't care. You're a business owner. It's your business. So, but I would have someone who's not like, my spouse is a hard ass. So it could be my spouse, but if your spouse is really nice to you, first of all, what's that like? Second of all, that's probably not the right person for you. So you can find an agent in the market center. I already have buyer's agents. I don't need to hold anybody else accountable. So don't pick me. We might have some people volunteer, but find someone who will hold you accountable. You don't have to be in real estate. Just someone who will do it. Someone who will actually do it. Okay. All right. What else we got here? We're winding down. We're in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we really do need to go through page 61 and 63. Okay. So page 61 is your agreement of expectations. We laid forth a lot of expectations today, have we not?
We sure did.
Was this class anything like what anybody thought it was going to be? It was nothing like I thought it was going to be. So it never is. I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Neither do they. Never know what's going to happen. That's what makes it fun. So the agreement of expectations. What I would love for you to do is read through each of these on your own. Initial next to all of them that you agree to, which is hopefully all of them, and then and then sign under capper and trading signature and print your name. Jesse will sign the other square, and that'll be your contract. If you are not committing to this course, if you're not going to do these things, don't sign it. That's going to be really embarrassing down the line. But you also can't ever approach myself, Market Center leadership, and go like, I didn't get anything out of Ignite, and be like, you didn't sign the contract, you giant moron. Sorry. What I meant to say is, if you're not committed to the program, then you're probably not going to get anything out of it. How many of you have ever been to the chiropractor?
Me.
Okay. Have you ever had the chiropractor adjust your neck?
Yes.
What has to happen? They do this. So what's really interesting about that, and why it's a great visual for me, is that in that moment, you have to submit fully. Because if you don't submit, what happens? You get hurt, or you die. I've never heard of a chiropractor killing someone, but I mean, it could happen. I don't know. Seems like that's the way you do it. But I have a great chiropractor in my life. Ignite is just like that. You have to submit fully, or you're going to get hurt. If you're not committed to submitting fully, I understand. I do. Don't commit. No big deal. Yeah. You're a business owner. I'm not making you do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the word. That's the word that was coming. I'm not going to make you do anything. I would suggest that you do it. If I had committed to these things sooner, I probably wouldn't have almost lost my house. I probably wouldn't have had to sell my beloved Chevy Avalanche to pay for it. Probably wouldn't have had my water turned off. Probably wouldn't have had all that stuff happen had I just committed and submitted. So,
And how much are you making this year?
again, I'm going to make $400,000 to $500,000.
Congratulations.
That's net. That's net. Nice. So, which is an okay payday. It's an okay payday. Want to know what's funny about my profit goal is that my profit goal in my head was always to make more than my dad, because I wanted to prove him wrong. My dad, because he was trying to protect me, he was like, why don't you get a real job? What my dad has learned today is that I'm the only person in the family with a real job. So, like I said, sign these if you're committed to the program. You should be, and then give them to Diane. Just put them on the back table whenever you're on your way out. We'll snatch them up. Okay, page 63 is a little bit more weird. I forgot that Ignite had this. I thought this was only a bold thing. This is the family / significant other agreement. If you have a really supportive spouse, first of all, what's that like? Second of all, yeah, you two can just sign right there. No big deal. That makes sense. That makes it easy. Family or significant other agreement. Jesse and I have actually talked about having a whole class around this, around spousal support and like literally bringing your spouses into the Market Center so we can explain to them. Here's what's true and what you need to know today. Your significant other is never going to know what you're doing. They're never going to know what you're doing. They're never going to understand the things that you're having to do, the process. They're never going to understand why you're not a millionaire. They're never going to understand why you didn't sell 16 houses this month. They're never going to understand why you're talking to yourself. They're never going to understand why you're doing scripts and role play. They're never going to understand why you're going to these weird classes like that. I'm just telling you, they're never going to get it, and you need to stop trying to convince them today. But you need their wholehearted agreement to trust the process and submit. Okay? The validity is that you're here. You're at the #1 real estate company on the face of the planet. You're at the #1 real estate market center in Denton since 1984. There are people in this building who are making 7 figures a year. There are people in this building that are out earning their doctors. You're not in the wrong place. And you have all the resources to do whatever the hell you want to. Your significant other needs to understand that and let you do it. Okay? This agreement says that. It has them initial to, I understand the time and activity commitment that Ignite and a real estate business requires. I understand that starting a real estate business, workdays may extend into evenings and weekends. I understand the commitment and give my complete support. give my complete, underline that, complete support. This may mean that I am doing more for a while, caring for children, making meals.
Ooh.
Yeah, important. And then you initial that you understand that your family is supporting you and you commit to communicating your schedule in advance. By the way, you eventually earn the right to defend your time. I'm at a point in my career where I defend my time. My clients call me on Sunday, like, can I see how the 1 p.m.? I'm just like, no, I can send it to my buyer's agent. I can see if maybe he can do it. Okay? You eventually earn that right. You haven't earned it yet. Okay? So it's okay.
How did your wife react whenever you handed her that piece of paper?
Well, he works for me now.
Sorry.
Perfect.
Perfect.
What's your next question?
Here's the point.
That's totally true, by the
That
way.
is totally true.
So
I believe it.
The point is, what can you do without your number one person's support? It's God, family, then business in that order. I'm not a church. I'm not here to tell individual people who God is, but I will tell you, we stand united in the greater good. Number one, number two, your spouse, family, then business in that order. There's a reason for that because you can't have one without the previous. So there's my spiel on that. Sorry.
No, it's a relevant spiel. On page 66, that's your mission for the next class. That's the stuff you need to have prepared for the class tomorrow. Normally Tuesdays are your mission days, but because of the 4th, that was a little bit discombobulated. If you have no idea what the hell this is talking about or how to get to this information on your own, talk to Lane. Lane can maybe even do a quick mastery class on how to do that. So that is your assignment. Now, I love that we have 4 minutes remaining because now we get to talk about ahas. We get to have a real moment. We get to have real feedback. So what are your ahas? What are your questions? What do you want to ask me or Jesse or Diana or Market Center Leadership before we adjourn for the day?
Where can I find a place to find more contacts other than going to Fuzzy's and taking pictures of business cards on the wall?
I did business.
I can find those in
Zillow.com.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of
That is a great question to Google, and I'm not being silly. Diana says I say this all the time. Like, no, did you Google it yet? But I'm not being silly. That is a great question to Google. There are a million billion free resources, and Diana will give you your spiel on the do not call list.
Can I tell you something I did recently that got me a whole bunch of hyper engaged contacts? I used a website called, you guys might write this down, Facebook.
Oh, whoa.
.com. Recently, my team did a kayak river cleanup or creek cleanup. We all went to Pilot Mill Park and we, like 30 of us, paddled out into Hickory Creek and picked up 80 pounds of trash. And after the event, I came across this Facebook group called like Kayak Adventures in North Texas, something like that. And I joined the group and I just posted a picture of our event and I was like, hey, we did this past weekend. You know, if anybody's ever interested in the future in doing this, we're going to do it again. So if anybody's interested, please let me know. The amount of people, by the way, I was just laying in bed, I was, you know, covered in popcorn, you know, and I just typed this in the middle of the night. 240 comments later, I have 240 email addresses and phone numbers that are now in my database who are now interested in being in business with me, not because of what I do, but because of who I am. That's a Simon Sinek concept, by the way. People do business with you because of who you are, not what you do. I mean, everybody loves Apple products because of the aesthetic, right? It's aesthetic, it just works, it's easy, it looks good, right? It has nothing to do with the product. We know that the iPhone 12 is exactly like the iPhone 11, which is exactly like the iPhone X. It's all exactly the freaking same, and it's 3 models behind Samsung. It is. And you buy them because of who they are, not what they do. It's true. So that's another mastery class. We're doing Super Ignite. Did I mention that?
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Not a question, an statement.
Oh, okay, great.
Shouldn't be about me, but it's gotta be for just a second. I live to coach, consult, and train the top 20% of this market center. And I have lists of questions for each of y'all that I want to ask you that will help you grow. And I want you to get there to the top 20%. Thomas is in that top 20% because he put in the work, he mastered it. Thomas is in that top 20% because he doesn't need me.
But I want you.
I love that relationship so much more. And the most beautiful marriages, friendships, and business relationships go that way, interdependently. And so I want to be there. This is, of course, to get you there. I hope you soak it up. And I have an official idiot count of 16.
Did I
You
say
said
idiot 16 times?
16 times, congratulations.
I was wondering what that was.
With Lane's help, of course, but really, thank you for your time, talent, and.
Moron was interchangeable.
Moron.
Yeah,
Okay,
moron
yeah,
was
yeah, it's synonymous, it's
Yeah.
synonymous. Yeah, no, I agree.
Moron.
Cool,
Love the way you say it.
cool. If there are no further questions, you are dismissed on time, because that's in culture.
I love it.
In command, on the 20th, from 4:30 to 6:30, we're having a happy hour, we've got food and beverages.
We're
Bring
paying you
your
in margaritas to get your
bring
database together,
to
yes.
Get it in command.
Great, and thank you. I'm going to an appointment, and I'm going to pre-appointment.
Okay, and then,
Okay, here's how we're gonna do that. Here's how we're gonna justify this. This is no,
If
yes.
it is in
There are
command, then
two
we're
people
gonna
that do
tag
that.
it, we're gonna get it
People
on
are
our
interested in
plan, so
becoming
it'll
Ralph.
email them
Okay.
automatically.
And I also have a like.
I love it. I love it.
The 20th.
What am I doing with this?
Enjoy the class, man. I
Oh, of
appreciate your
course,
time.
yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much
Sure.
for being involved.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
You too. Hey, can I use this remotely?
Yes.
Um,
Yep, just on kwdentonlive.com.
The last time I tried to log in on Zoom.
Yes.
Okay. Diana, same thing. Log into Zoom, nothing happens. What was the fix? Remember Lori had it? Remember?
Let's look at it.
Cause someone, or Tori or somebody had the same, like I log into Zoom and like nothing happens and it was a weird.
Yeah, it just says something like waiting on the
Were you on your phone or
host.
laptop?
laptop.
Interesting.
I'm going to make one time and then the next time it works.
It can be viewed remotely, yes. We're not gonna cast it to Facebook. But yes, it's on pwdentonlive.com.
Because I'm at the firehouse tomorrow.
Yeah.
This weekend, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be able to do it, but
Yeah, are we gonna record them?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Especially these two because.
Let's just record them all. Let's do that. We'll record them all. We'll send them out to everybody too. But they'll be on kwdentonlive.com. We're gonna do it live and we'll record them.
So this one was recorded?
Can you log
So
in?
this was recorded. It was recorded.
It was recorded.
Yes.
Because I